Hey guys, welcome to another pick a card. Today we're actually doing an Astro theme pick a card, but it is called Knock Knock and what's knocking at your door for your solar return. So if you don't know, Astro is a K-pop group and one of their songs is called Knock, and that's what we kind of based all of that on. But they're a group that actually has a lot of theme around astrology. So they have a lot of like planetary and star references. Which is really cool and we're really excited about it. But a solar return, for those of you that don't know, is your birthday. So whenever you're finding this, whether it's your birthday now, whether you just had your birthday, whether your birthday is coming up, whatever it may be, this is just kind of to tell you whatever your birthday is, whether you just had it or it's coming up, the year of that birthday, your solar return, what can you expect? So kind of some things that might happen during that year, or some things that you can look forward to. If you're already in your new year, which for me, my solar return is in September. So I just had my birthday if you're watching this live, like real time. So for me, this would be about, if whatever pile I chose would be about my solar return, meaning this year from September to next September. So just keep that in mind, that it could be about the current year that you're in right now, if you just had a birthday, or if you're having a birthday that's coming up, or if you're watching this, in a couple years and it's going to be your birthday, then that's still valid. It's a timeless reading. So take, whatever resonates for you. But basically we have 4 piles here. Each pile, and I'll hold them up in a second. We have Oracle, we have Astro Dice, we have lyric cards. So we have little cards here that have some Astro lyrics to kind of see maybe what the vibe of your year is going to be like, or maybe some things that might come in. We have channel messages, we have tarot. I think I said we have Oracle already. And then each pile has a little present for your birthday, so for your solar return. So we'll open that up at the end of each pile so that you kind of see what you're maybe possibly going to be getting for your birthday. Super exciting. Yes. So we're super pumped about it. Basically, I'm going to hold up each one of these and you can pick one, you can pick 2, 3, or all 4. You can pick whichever ones you want, whatever resonates for you. With these little stickers, these are just little planets, and from what I understand, the pack that I got them in doesn't necessarily have them labeled, but I have a Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. So depending on that, but you don't have to pick based on a planet, so don't worry. But I'm going to hold them up so that you can see them. So the first one is Moonbin, and it says, I feel like you're a dazzling star, making my heart beat right now. I'm feeling a signal like yours, shine the most among the stars. When I follow the light, I fly up to you, which is from Knock. So that's Moonbin. Pile 2 is going to be, you always stay in my life. I'm trying to connect the dots. Now I can hear you. I can feel you change my world. When the dark night is about to grow, the universe shines brighter on me. Thank you, my universe, which is from My Universe, which is one of my favorite Astro songs. And this is Eunwoo. Okay. And then the third one is MJ. So let me pick that up here. And this one is, I can feel it even when I close my eyes, a starlight that wraps around me. It's strange, but it feels cozy. You're stardust, baby, you are stardust. And that is from Stardust, which is a great song. Honestly, Astro's music is just super soft. So if you haven't listened to them, I highly recommend. And then last but not least, we have Rocky. And this is, without hesitation, I'll look in your eyes. Its moonlight brightens up my path, the stars in the beautiful night sky. They'll be smiling toward us. I'll light your way. And that's from Starry Sky. So take a minute to meditate on the cards, pick whichever one stands out to you. If you have a bias, if you didn't notice, we're missing 2 members. They're in the back. So they're going to be watching over the whole reading.
Don't get angry, Aroha. We included them.
We tried our best, but we did not have 6 piles, but we have these 4, and then we have the 2 in the back, and we did shuffle it out so it was fair. We had it we had Spirit shuffle it out to tell us which piles were which. So
Yes.
we did it fair and square. But in the back, we have Jinjin. And then, oh, and he's over here with his little planets. And then we have Sanha over here with his toast.
Yes.
Yes. So they're here. So Roha, if you see them, they're back in the back. And then, of course, we have all of them right there. But anyways, pick your pile, whichever one you're drawn to, or more than one. And we're going to actually go ahead and get started with pile 1, which is Benny. If you chose pile 1, then you chose Moonbin and the pretty Saturn sticker. So put that over there. So for Moonbin, his quote is, "I feel like you are a dazzling star making my heart beat right now. I'm feeling a signal like yours. Shine the most among the stars. When I follow the light, I fly up to you," which is from the song Knock. Good song. Put him right there. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We said in the intro that we were going to do channel messages, but we're going to do those as we get them. We're both going to be reading the cards today, and then we're going to start out with some astro dice to kind of get an idea of maybe some houses or some signs, maybe some events that might happen. And then we also have some lyrics. And then at the end, we also have this cute little box here, which is your present. And we'll go through and open that up. It has charms and stickers for what you might be able to expect during this year, maybe some confirmation, some things like that. This is going to be all about your solar return, which your solar return is just a fancy term for your birthday. It's just when the sun returns to the same place that it was at when you were born, which happens once per year on your birthday. So it doesn't matter whether your birthday is, tomorrow, or whether it was a couple weeks ago or in a few months. It doesn't really matter. This is a timeless reading. So whenever you stumble across this, this is going to be about what you can expect for your solar return that's either coming up or just passed. So for instance, my birthday is in September. So I just had my solar return. So for me, if I were to pick this pile, then that would mean that this pile was about what was going to happen for me this year for my solar return. And so some gifts, maybe some events, maybe kind of the vibe. We're going to get into that. But yeah, we've got all sorts of things planned for you guys today.
The first thing, before Bekah throws the dice, is for you guys. Right when we started, the first thing that I saw was piano keys and like someone playing them. So like if you're fiddling around with the keyboard right now, or you just finished playing the piano, just, I don't know, some type of confirmation for you, or you work with music. But I just wanted to throw that out there really quick. So piano, that seems important.
That's exciting. Okay, let's see. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to throw the dice, and we'll throw these a couple times just to get a general vibe. Your first toss was, I believe that's Pisces.
Yes.
And the 5th house, which is normally ruled by Leo. And Pisces is usually over the 12th. And then you have Venus, which is usually Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus. So 2nd and 7th houses. So for me, this talks about potentially new romance, which is exciting because the 5th house is the house of romantic relationships. So kind of like that puppy love, like new things, but it's also about creativity and adventure. And it can be about children. It can also be about just new beginnings in general. That's usually more 1st house, but 5th house can talk about that as well. 5th house can also talk about fame. So that's really exciting. And the ego, it's also ruled by the sun naturally, like, normally. So that's really exciting. Now, obviously, depending on your chart, you might have different things in different houses. So you might have Pisces in your 5th house, which if that's the case, you're probably pretty hopelessly romantic, which is kind of soft. You might have Venus in your 5th house, which again, romantic. So I'm already picking up kind of some romance vibes for this group. So it's you might even have like a Pisces Venus. It's very possible. So it might just be that you're coming into a new relationship, a romantic one, and picking that up for some of you. For some of you, it's new. It's a new baby potentially. So if you're trying for a baby, you might have one this year. that comes into play. So that's really exciting. That's already a pumped up gift. But yes, very much related to your love life, your romance, but also to aesthetics and beauty and how you know, even self-love potentially. So you might be opening up to yourself even more into your sun, which is your sun sign, which this is about your solar return. So your sun sign is all about like your ego, but it's also about kind of like the self and looking at the self and how you are as a person. So it could even be that you're looking at yourself with a softer, more loving touch. So that's also a potential. But for a lot of you, I feel like this is a new romantic partner or like a flirting stage kind of situation, which is very soft and exciting.
Yes. For me with the dice, the thing that I heard them say right away was that life is going to feel brand new. So it might just be that, like, yes, for some of you, yes, it's definitely going to be about a partner, and that's going to make life kind of feel brand new. Like I'm kind of hearing Begin Again by Taylor Swift, which is kind of about how she was in a not so great relationship, and then she meets this guy who like laughs at her jokes and like doesn't make her feel dumb, and like, you know, like, and that's what she says, like she talks about how like she just kind of like specifically the lyric on a Wednesday in a cafe, so that could be something for you guys. I watched it begin again, so it's just basically like watching the cycles of life start over. So it's like you're stepping into a new cycle of some sort. For a lot of you it is going to be romantic, but it could just be, you know, just a new cycle for you in general. So like if you're someone that's like, I'm not really looking for love right now, but like I, you know, I'm really into my creative projects. Well, because we have that fifth house, you might just be in love with like your projects right now, and that can come out. Or like we were talking about, your love of the self might grow really, 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 really. Just yeah, it's just going to grow. Sorry.
Very, very came to my mind. So if you're a fan of Very, Very as well, hey, hello, we love them.
Yes.
We're gonna do one more roll just to see if there's any other areas of your life that Spirit wants to bring attention to. Okay, we got Scorpio, 8th house, Scorpio, and Saturn. Okay, there. You have a lot of transformation going on. So Scorpio in the 8th house, same energy. So you don't really have to, you know, think too much on that. But you may have a Scorpio sun, you may have a Scorpio rising, or you may have a Scorpio moon, whatever that may be. You might have one of your big three. It's possible that you have Saturn in Scorpio or in your 8th house or both. Regardless, basically what I'm picking up with that is that you're going to have a lot of transformation when it comes to Saturn stuff. So with Saturn is usually ruler of Capricorn. So when you think Capricorn, you think like work and reputation, which Taylor Swift Reputation is popping into my head. But you might have a lot of transformation when it comes to your work life and to your reputation. So you might be getting seen. You might have a lot of like big changes when it comes to where you work or who you work with, or you might be getting promoted this year, which would be really exciting. But I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of soul searching when it comes to your career. So you're going to be doing things that say like, you know, is this career fulfilling for me? What is it that I really, really, really want to do? You know, how can I transform this area of my life so that I love what I'm doing every day? Like, it's kind of like that vibe is what I'm picking up. It could also be that you have very strong Saturn energy in your 8th house, which your 8th house is about life and death, rebirth. I call it the house of life and death and taxes. But it's also about sex and other people's money. So intimacy could be something that's transforming as well. You could even meet someone that you become intimate with because of work if you have Saturn in the 8th house. So it could be that you have a situation where you're working and you find someone that you're interested in, because we did have all of that about the 5th house and like romantic feelings. So you might find that you're working and there's somebody new that you come across that you become involved with romantically. And that could be a transformation in this area as well.
Yes. Okay, so two things that came through for me while Bekah was talking. First thing is that they said intimacy in a completely new way for you. So, and it makes tons of sense because with Saturn, like that's definitely like Saturn makes you do the hard work to get the thing that you want. And then Scorpio in 8th house is about that death and rebirth and sex. So I don't think this is just about sex. I mean, it might be though. Like for some of you, you may have never had sex before. And so you're going to potentially start having sex this year. For some of you, this can even just be that intimacy that Bekah's talking about with yourself. This could be, again, like we talked about things feeling brand new. So this could be about sex feeling extremely deeply spiritual and grounded at the same time is kind of what they're showing me. It's like this person that you're going to meet, you're going to feel completely rooted into your body and also out of it at the same time because you're going to be connected on such that deep, intimate level. So it's very, very, very like cool, very spiritual. Like it's going to be, again, like it's a new. So even if you had sex before, it's going to be very little about the general like pleasure that people look for in sex and more about the spiritual connection. And then other thing I heard was Elevator by Stray Kids, which looks completely different messages. But I think that more so has to do with, again, like you might have to go through a little bit of a rebirth process in the way you see intimacy and the way you see, or like the way it's been used before in your life. You might have to get in touch with that side of yourself. And that might be a little bit challenging. I call Saturn the church on a hill. And so it could even be getting over some like things that you consider like taboo or like, oh, I can't want that. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? And so like, you're kind of breaking that. And then when you do the homework, Saturn gives you the rewards. So it's kind of what I'm getting.
Woo, and that is an area that we all want to be rewarded in. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, so moving on. We're going to get you a couple of lyrics. I know I usually do these at the end, but we're going to do them at the beginning this time because I want to. These are all Astro songs, so I'm going to give you guys 2 of them, and then we'll move on to the cards, but we'll start with these. I love all of the paper that I use for these. My favorite paper kit.
So pretty.
You know. See if they want to give you any messages. Oh, there's one. Hold
on. After you said if they want to give you any messages, I heard, no, not today. So your guides are funny.
Oh, there's the other. Okay. We love when they play with this. Okay. So the first one we have, lol. Okay, we have, I can see my reflection in your eyes. It's a romantic miracle. Look carefully, dreams come true. Everything is the first for us. A couple whose each day will be special. That's us. And that's crazy, sexy, cool.
What did I just say about things being new? Everything is a first. So for some of you, like I said, it is your first time. And for some of you, like this is going to feel like the first time because it's going to be completely new to what you know.
Very soft.
I was like, that's super soft. Just saying.
Yes. Oh, you got their new song. Okay, so the other
After Midnight.
I know. We have After Midnight in the Moonlight. Let go of all the worries. Come on, let's go. After midnight. See the highlight. Night of the summer. Baby, we will never forget. The perfect midnight that we will make. Just After Midnight, which is their new song. It's so good.
You know, some things happen after midnight.
Yes, highly recommend listening to Astro if you never have. Again, this is just reconfirming for me that you guys are going to have a new romantic commitment, relationship, potential situation going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yes, 100%.
So let's see what your cards say. And I'm doing all live shuffling. So Laina and I have no idea what's going to come out.
Which is exciting for us. We like that.
Yes. So I'm going to get you 3 of these. These are the Black Moon astrology cards. This is a deck I've had almost since I began reading oracle cards. So, yeah. Well, 10th house, the world.
Career.
That's your career. That's Saturn. Okay. And then you have first house, the body. What did I say about your sun? And then let's see, one more for one of these days I'll fix my setup so you guys can see me shuffle a little bit better.
Progress on due time.
And I'm gonna do it. Oh, yep, I was like, I'm gonna stop. Leo, I will.
I was like, I thought that was Leo.
Yep, it's the 5th house energy again. You may also have Leo as one of your big 3, or it could just be a really important placement for you. Or again, it could just be talking about the 5th house. If you want bottom of the deck, we have Mercury Mind, which is number 3. And then I'm going to get you 3 of the numinous cards as well. Okay. You have, actually, hold on, I didn't do it right.
Okay. So while she shuffles, I'll talk a little bit about these here. So with 10th house, the body, and Leo, specifically what I'm getting from your guides here is that they really, really, really want you to basically have your creativity meet your career, and then, but at the same time, they want you to take care of your body. And it doesn't necessarily mean like, because I never want anyone from these readings to think that like we're telling them to like, hey, you got to get in shape, or you got to eat better, or you have to. No, when we're talking about the body, we're, yes, like if that's something you feel you need to do for yourself, then by all means do that. But really what I get from this is that I'm seeing someone doing yoga, I'm seeing someone doing meditation, I'm seeing someone, you know, like come back to their body, because I think that potentially with this group, with your career, there's going to be a lot going on. And then again, with that Leo energy, the I will, you have the determination and the energy supporting you to get a lot done this year, but they don't want you to forget about yourself. That's really something that I'm picking up.
Okay, there it is. It was taking me a hot second. Yeah, well, speaking of a hot second, that was Mars.
Oh, Mars.
Okay, so yes, you also got sextile, which is opportunity, and Pisces, which is the mystic, which we got in your dice. So basically, yes, I back up everything that Laina just said. But again, for me, this is talking about passion when it comes to not only yourself, but again, like you could have that romantic connection. Again, you have that Pisces card coming out, which is about like your imagination, healing. It can be about like music, creativity, in the sense of like a lot of people that are musicians or poets or writers or artists in some way have some pretty big Pisces placements. So you might have some big Pisces placements. But it's possible that you are diving into some of those new hobbies, or your dreams are becoming really, really important, or you're realizing your dreams this year. So again, we talked about how you could have a lot of transformation in your 10th house, which is your house of career, which again, we got your 10th house coming out. So you could have a lot of transformation with that. And it could be that you are transforming how you see yourself, and you're gaining more confidence because you have Mars and Leo and the 1st house. So it could be that you're gaining a lot of confidence, and that's allowing you to really transform how you view yourself, which in turn is allowing you to transform your reputation and to actually do what you want to do. And it has opportunity coming in. And this does talk about collaboration and opening doors, promises, communication. So it talks about all of that. So for me, I feel like if you're diving into what your dreams are and into building your confidence and going after the things that you want and taking action with that Mars card, Spirit is going to be giving you a lot of opportunities this year to really dive in deep to things that make you feel really excited and really happy, and to express yourself. So just know that that's something that's coming for you this year. And it might be kind of scary sometimes, but just know that one thing I try to tell myself is that the feeling of fear is also the same thing as feeling excited. So if you have like a feeling of anxiety, just know that that just means that you're also excited about something at the same time. And if you can kind of see that duality in it, that can kind of help you through those times to know like, okay, even though this is scary and I'm feeling anxious, I'm also feeling excited, and it's okay to allow myself to feel excited about this thing. If you need to, you can rely on that Pisces feeling, which is like going in and doing things like artwork or music, or channeling it into channeling your energy and your excitement and your, if you're feeling kind of all over the place, like going and using art forms could be really helpful for you. Meditating could be really, really helpful for you. But I sense a lot of healing through just realizing your worth and really coming into this new level of confidence and taking these opportunities when it feels right for you. So if opportunities come up, of course, always weigh whether it's right or not. But I feel like there's a lot about allowing yourself to seize the opportunities that feel good for you. Yeah.
Yes, Sebastian agrees. Okay, so this might be completely random. It might mean something to some of you. When Bekah was talking, this message came in really strong. I had to look it up because even though I do have Mexican heritage, I don't speak Spanish fluently, but I heard this very clearly in Spanish. And it was si fueras tú, which means it was you. So I have no idea if that means anything to anyone. What I'm kind of picking up off of it, aside from the, like, so maybe for some of you, this is a confession, like someone's going to be telling you, like, it was you, like you're the person that I want, or you're going to be telling someone that. For some of you, this could be, to me, this almost gives you like you're the chosen one type of thing. So like, you're going to be like, we picked you to carry on the legacy, like potentially a message from ancestors. Like I said, I don't really know. I believe from when I was Googling right now, there's a show called Si Fueras Tú, or a movie. So you might want to look that up. Maybe that movie will resonate for you somehow. I've never heard that phrase in my life. So that was an interesting one for me.
Yes. This is way sideline, but when you said it was you, it made me think of I used to watch The Bravest Warriors, and it's funny because my name is Bekah, but there's a skit where it's Catbug is playing like marionette and is playing like, a little kid would, and he is playing with a potato named Rebecca, and then and then like a marionette mouse, and like, anyways, he says it was you, and like for some reason that popped into my head. So if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend Bravest Warriors. It's hilarious. You can find it on YouTube. They also have comics, so if you're into comics, check those out. Just thought I'd bring that up since it popped into my head. My cat agrees. So yeah, I don't know that yes, that came in real strong for you.
So Wabeka could be the name of your person, or that could be your name, like our Bekah.
It's very possible. Yes. So,
or Chad, because that's another name in that
Chad?
In that skit. Chad.
Yes. Yes, you could have a brother named Chad. I hate you so much.
I hate you so much.
So funny. I love that skit. Catbug is one of my favorites of all time. If you hear my cat, he's scared because there's a thunderstorm going on right now. Just bear with me. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna move on to oracles. And then while I'm shuffling these out, I'm gonna let Laina pick up on what she can. Start with you.
I'm also hearing I Am You, I See Me in You by Stray Kids. So that could be a song you want to look up. Ooh, it's being tested. Okay.
First quarter moon. But at the bottom of the deck.
Ooh, conclusions are within reach. Yes. So right away with this card, what I'm getting is that like the things that you want, I don't want you to take this card and be like, oh God, like, because it can be a little bit of a triggering thing to hear that you're being tested, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that like bad things are going to happen. It just might be that like there are going to be things that come up, and basically spirit, like you know, spirit or the universe or your ancestors, whoever's, you know, they want to, it's not, again, it's not a test in a way to be mean. That's something that I want to make really clear. It's more of the sense of like, we're going to start, because you have that card, the sextile, about opportunity. So they're going to present the opportunities and you have to take them. That's kind of what I'm getting. And yes, it could also mean that there's a triggering thing or two that comes up, but the reason is so that you can heal those things. So it might be that you meet someone or who triggers things in you or reflects things back to you that you didn't know that like you still needed to work on, or like, you know what I mean? Or you might meet someone who challenges your views, but in a good way because they're different enough from you that it inspires you. Like that's kind of what I'm picking up off of this card. So it's kind of like, it's funny because they always say like right when you're about to meet your person, you usually kind of meet like a either someone that is all the things that you don't want or need anymore, and like you're being tested in the way of like, okay, are you really going to actually go after what's good for you and put up your boundaries, or like do you need to learn this lesson again? Or they say you meet someone that's super close but it's not it, and you have to be the one to be like, like this person almost seems right but I'm not going to settle. And that's also kind of a thing that I'm seeing is like you might meet a lot of new interesting people, but trust that intuition of yours. Don't settle for something that's just like, you see how that moon is like half there? Don't settle for half the moon. You deserve the whole moon. So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. So I'm almost done shuffling, but we have Forge, Don't Follow, which is pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Yeah. And then you also have Soul Connection.
Ooh. Yes. So this kind of just backs up everything I just said with the Forge, Don't Follow. Don't let someone else kind of dictate, like, you know, because you might have friends that are like, oh, this person seems perfect for you. What do you mean you're not interested in them? Just don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Or like, this opportunity seems amazing for you. This job, this blah, blah, blah. Fill it in with what applies. And you're just like, yeah, but it just doesn't feel right. Trust that. You know how a lot of people will like walk into a place or like a house or whatever, and they'll be like, this doesn't feel like my house. So they'll leave and they won't put a bid on it. And then they're right, because it's not their house. But then like the house that is meant to be theirs, they put a bid on it and they get it, and it's because it's meant to be theirs. Well, it's weird because people seem to be okay with that. But when you say that about a person or about like a job or whatever, you get a lot of, oh, you're being too picky. Like, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Like, no one's perfect. And it's like, no, of course not. No one is perfect. But your soul, because this connection is so deep, is going to know. And like, for those of you that really don't want to, for those of you that really don't want a relationship, I would say you should probably pick a different pile. But regardless, if you really don't want a relationship, but you still feel connected to this pile, whatever it is that you're trying to go after, whether, because this could even be a friend, like if you don't want a romantic relationship, it could be a very deep friendship, someone who feels like a sibling or just like a really close best friend. Basically, you have that connection, so you're going to feel it. So just don't, make your own path. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Like if your friends already all got married last year and you're like, oh, well, I should just marry this person because they're pretty close. Like, no. Basically, that's what I meant. No. On you.
No. Yes. And then for your last 4 cards, we have North Node, which is Destiny and Challenges. And we have the 5th house, which is Leo, which is I Create. And it says, this is the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness and pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. So everything that I already said about the 5th house. And then I wanted to show you guys the bottom of the deck of both of these before we finish this section. So you have New Moon, which is new beginnings, planting seeds, setting intentions, and blank page, which I thought was important. And then for your fixed star cards, you have Aries and Taurus. This is also 3rd house, Moon and Mars. Creativity and alchemy, fortune and prosperity go hand in hand, as does your ability to sustain what you already have. think that goes over there. I'm gonna move your box. And then the other one is Nashira, which is Aquarius energy, which is Saturn and Jupiter. So lucky. This is adaptation and achievement. Overcome your concerns by embracing change in the midst of confusion. One can also find purpose. Oh, I guess I should have put that by North Node, but that's okay. And then at the bottom of the deck for this one, you have Virgo, which is Allahu. I probably said it wrong. Mercury and Mars. It actually says 8th house at the top. And then it says Eros and Vitality, which is pour your desires all over me, take over my body and make my heart sing.
Okay. Yeah, yes. There's some definite passion going on here for you guys. Just saying.
Yes. I back up everything Laina's already said, and I feel like those cards just kind of basically just already said everything that we've already said. But for a lot of you, you know, I feel like, again, it's about tapping into your intuition, tapping into your gifts, creating and bringing things to life. And that's really guiding you on your path. I feel for most of you, like you are perfectly, I mean, you're always where you're supposed to be, right? But I feel like this is a sign that you're on path right now because you have your North Node and it's just talking about creativity, alchemy, moving forward, adapting, being aware. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of adaptable situations this year, but I feel like a lot of you use your creativity as an outlet for that. And so I feel like a lot of you are going to be just kind of able to get through things by going with the flow through using your creative talents to get you through things, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, just exactly what she said. As you go through things, your creative talents will be a great help to you. And I think Bekah mentioned this earlier, but she talked about like a potential work connection being how you meet this person. And I definitely feel like that's accurate because we've got an equal amount about work and love. So I do almost feel like you are going to meet someone by, again, with that forge, don't follow. The way you're going to meet this person or like, you know, like your tribe or whatever it is for you is because you're going to be following your own path, your own destiny, not the safe thing, not what everyone else says you should be doing, but your own. So like, in other words, if people are like, but you've worked at this company for 10 years, but you know, you need to quit, just as scary as that is, just do it. Like, I know Bekah and I can both speak because we both quit our jobs to pour our whole hearts into this, which, you know, terrifying thing to do, just saying. Like, not decisions we made lightly, decisions we made nonetheless, but we're both super happy with the decision that we've made, because we know that it's going to pay off because we feel it. So we're forging our own path and we're not following the safe path just because everyone says we should. And so, you know, some of you might be in that quote unquote safe job. And of course, again, like, you know, do this with a grain of salt. Like, if you have children and things to take care of, like, be smart, you know, don't be a dum-dum. You know, we're very fortunate that we had family that was willing to let us live without paying rent. We also were fortunate in the sense that, like, you know, like I said, so we had things where we knew we would be okay. But if you're in a situation where you have to pay rent every month, you might have to, you know, do this on the side, build it up, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying, please. So don't, you know, be rash. But you also know if you're going to have the ability to be okay and if you're just afraid to take that leap. And like I said, I'm really focused on that forge, don't follow card. So really, you have to forge your own path to bring in all of these amazing blessings, which can be a little bit scary, but 100% worth it. Like I said, you deserve the whole moon, not half the moon.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Definitely. Also, I'll repeat them again. You had Aquarius, you had Aries, and you had Taurus, and then you have Leo again, by the way, just so if you wanted a little extra of that. So we're going to do your tarot next, to get an idea of anything else that you might need to be aware of or that might be coming in for you for this year, for your birthday, for your solar return. What the haps are. Hold on one second. Okay. All right, I'm excited because I haven't gotten to use this deck live yet, so I'm pretty pumped. Lol. Okay, first card out the gate is the Seven of Pentacles, which is Saturn and Taurus. Yes. Okay. King of Pentacles. So King of Talismans.
Yes, that right there. Holy, yeah. The seeds that you guys have planted pays off big time. So anything that you've planted, maybe even in the past, or things that you're starting to plant now, by the time the year cycles around again, they will have paid off for you in a big way.
Mm-hmm. They're being picky.
That's almost like a dream energy to get. Like the Seven of Pentacles mean that the thing that you worked really hard in planting is basically going to harvest at the king. Like, what the heck? You guys are super blessed. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Okay, yep, okay. So your next one is the Six of Swords. And that's Mercury in Aquarius. Or hold on one second.
So again, with the Six of Swords, that's giving me that like, it's almost giving me Eight of Cups vibes, only like, because the Eight of Cups is about like basically leaving everything behind, like the cups that don't serve you anymore. But because you had that Forge Don't Follow card, I'm kind of getting the same thing. You're leaving behind like in the traditional tarot, it's like the people on a boat, and then the waters, they're leaving choppy waters into calmer waters. And that's kind of the same thing here. So like all the chaos, all the lessons, all the things that you've had, you're basically integrating those into your life, and they're going to, you know, like it's going to pay off because you're sailing into smoother waters now.
This is really interesting. You got the King of Candles. So that's the King of Wands. And then they tried to send out a bunch of them at once. So I'm going to show you the two that they shot out, and then I'll show you the bottom of the deck. I don't know why. You guys just have a lot of tarot cards. You have the Chariot. Okay. With the Tower that shot out. So I'm just going to stick those under there. And then you got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah. Okay. So, really quick, you guys have so because those two cards really wanted to come out, like I feel like those top four are kind of like the main events of your year. So again, like with that Wands energy, there's a lot of creative energy, but it's going to be like your life with the Chariot, like forward movement. So that's awesome. And July could be an important time. And then with the Tower, it's your life is going to completely be drastically different than what you know it as now. And don't let that scare you, because it's good. It's good different. Like, it's not bad different. It's like things that leave for a reason. Things that come in because you deserve them.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. For me, this just talks about you put in the work already. And so now you're kind of in a phase of waiting for it to grow, and it's going to grow. And then you're going to be leaving behind a lot of things that no longer serve you. And it's kind of interesting because you have this duality of like the pentacles with the candles. So like the pentacles with the wands. So again, it's all about like that creative energy boosting you up. I feel like your reputation is going to be increased, whether that be by fame or just being well known in your social circles, getting a promotion at work. I feel like either that, or you're going to be creating your own job and leaving behind the job that you have for something better that's better for you. And it's going to happen very quickly, and it's going to be very exciting, and it's just going to be a lot of change, and it's going to be way different than anything you've ever known. But I feel like it's going to bring you a lot of emotional harmony and a lot of harmony within your soul. So I feel like even though it's a lot and it's scary and like there's a lot of different aspects to it, really you just have to wait for this stuff to come to you, and it's meant to. So it's going to find you. I mean, you already had the Destiny card, you had the North Node. So it will find you. It's just a matter of allowing it to happen. And then when it gets there, just trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, and letting yourself be guided by the universe, and just knowing that it's going to end up making you feel very complete and nurtured and loved and seen and cared for. The other thing I'm picking up with this Queen of Elixirs is that the person, if you're a, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, right? Because each of us has like masculine and feminine within us. But whoever your person is, they kind of have a feminine energy. So if you're a male, it could be a female. If you're a female, it could be a female, or it could just be a man that has a more feminine energy, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like this has a secondary message as far as the Queen of Elixirs go, because yes, I do think that is about your emotional satisfaction, but I feel like because that's at the bottom of the deck, it's also talking about potentially this relationship coming out of nowhere and being something that you can't see right now. So it may be that you can't even fathom the idea of a relationship right now because you're so focused on like your work, but it's going to come and it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be unexpected. And I think that it'll be something that's very, very fulfilling. And it's going to be somebody who's very nurturing and loving, from what I gather from that Queen of Cups card.
Okay, so I agree with that 100%. I think that like with this person, because I do think that this person you're going to meet is probably going to be someone you're going to be committed to for a long time or for the long haul. So yeah, like I said, if you're in this reading and you're not looking for a relationship and you're like, nah, I'm not ever going to be in a relationship. One, spirit might be like, ha, you think? And second, it might just be that like this is not the pile for you because there's so much about this relationship coming through, just really, really, really strongly. And the last thing I want to add is that with the Six of Keys, which is the Six of Swords, I'm really seeing that kind of like as house keys. So if any of you have been looking for a house, I'm getting the message that you might actually find it, because it's like maybe you tried 5 keys and you're like, I still haven't found my house. And then it's like, oh, you tried the 6th one and it, it works. Like you get, this can also be doors of opportunity. But for some of you with that, I'm also getting that like this might be a big leap. It might be even a country, like a different move to a new country or to a new state or to a new city, like, and you've always lived in, like, let's just say Boston for your whole life, and now you're gonna end up, now you're moving to Tampa, like in Florida, like I don't know, or you're moving to New York, like those types of things. That's kind of what I'm getting, is that, yeah, like there's just some type of big movement, some type of shift. Now it could actually be a physical move for some of you. For others of you, again, it might be more internal, but then that shift again is going to bring in things. That shift that you do internally or that you have done internally might be bringing this opportunity for your career, so on and so forth.
I definitely agree with that. It's really exciting. Okay. I'm just going to move this over here for this part, but basically we are at my favorite part ever, which is your little present for your year. So I'm going to open it, and basically we're going to see what's inside, and we're going to see, I took these out blindly. So basically what that means is anything that I pulled out of my charm bucket or out of the sticker box, I didn't pick and choose. Like if it came out, it got put in here, basically. So we're going to go ahead and dump this out, and then we're going to go over it. Oh, there's more stars in there. I swear. There's stars everywhere. Okay, hold on. Anyways, you have some stars in there, which is unexpected because I don't remember putting those in there because they're not stickers. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of go for it. You have the corgi, which the corgi puppy, either you are getting a new pet of some sort, maybe it's a corgi, or you're just going to be feeling really excited and really happy. And this could also be talking about a person. So you might have friends, or you might have a new partner that come in that are very loyal, very excitable, and very fun. This kind of gives me like a Leo or an Aries vibe. So kind of like a fire sign vibe from this, if I were to think of like a person. But otherwise, you might be getting a pet. So if you're looking for a puppy, you might be getting one. You got pretty dope, which I feel like you're going to be thinking this year is pretty dope. You got party, so you might be having a birthday party, or you might be having a lot of parties, or there's something really big to celebrate this year, which judging from your cards, there is. So, it's exciting. I also got charms in here for you. So we have the number 5, which 5 could be important for you. It might be a lucky number. It might be a birthday. It might be, the number of, I don't know, you might live on like 5th Street or something like that might be where you find your house. Or it could be May. It could be that the month of May is important, or your birthday's in May. Whatever it may be, 5 could be important for you. We have an airplane, which talks about travel. So you could be going on a plane somewhere, maybe like Laina said, to a different country, a different city, might be part of you moving, or maybe you're going to be visiting someplace and that's where you meet someone new. You have the butterfly, which is all about transformation, which we've talked a lot about the 8th house and Scorpio and transformation. It's going to be a very transformative year for you. We got a G, which G could be an initial, it could be a location. Maybe you're moving to Georgia. Maybe your name is George. I don't know. Maybe your person's name starts with a G. I have no idea, but
down in Georgia.
Yeah, I got Peaches by Justin Bieber. There you go. Okay. You have the 2 little hearts that are intertwined. So potentially meeting your soulmate, your person, or someone that you are planning on being in a relationship with. If you're already in a relationship, it could be that you're just getting closer to your person this year. Maybe you're moving in together. You also have the moon and the star, which is very soft. This for me speaks about a lot of different things. So this could be about duality in a sense, but it could also be about following your dreams, listening to your intuition, chasing your dreams. We did have a lot about putting your creativity to use, and a lot about like if you work in a job where you're not necessarily happy or you have creative hobbies, pouring your heart into those and having that lead to a new career and lead to success for you. So that could be just listening to your dreams, following your dreams. Actually, a dream journal could be important because you might get messages in your sleep when you're dreaming. So that could be important. But the moon's also about intuition, and the star is all about hope. So it could just be trying to remain hopeful and listen to your intuition as well. Then we have Oh Snap. So there could be a lot of really exciting things that happen out of nowhere, lots of surprises, or you could really like photography, and this could just be your confirmation that you should do more photography. Maybe you'll get a new camera for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We have an airplane, and it says to my BFF, and this is a paper airplane, but again, that's about like travel and about, maybe you're going to be traveling to your BFF, and maybe your BFF and you decide that you like each other as more than that. Or maybe you'll be meeting someone new that you're going to consider your best friend now. Like, there's lots of possibilities, but I feel like you could be traveling to see your best friend, or you could be meeting someone new and then traveling to see them. There's lots of options for that. You have, I want to eat delicious food. And then to go along with that, you have a little guy who cooked for a girl, and she's very excited about it. So maybe you're cooking a meal for someone, or they're cooking for you, and that's important. Maybe that's a date that you'll go on. You have this cute one where the guy is looking down at the girl as she sleeps in his lap, which is super soft. So again, I feel like that has to do with a relationship where you feel like you are each other's homes, or you're at home with each other. You got the Danny Gom charm, which I know this is an astro reading, but I took what came out. So this is a Danny Gom, which is I Am from Monsta X's character, which basically is just a little bear. But he represents I Am, and I think as far as personality goes, he's someone who's very mischievous, very smart, very fun, but also someone who's very quiet and very reserved, but is very open with their friends. It's someone who's very loyal, very honest, and these could be characteristics of you, but they could also be characteristics of your person. So this might be someone that you meet. The astrology sign is Aquarius as far as like the sun sign goes. So that could be more confirmation for you. Maybe you'll meet an Aquarius and fall in love, or maybe you are an Aquarius. Who knows? That could be whatever. Take whatever resonates with that. If you haven't ever seen anything about them, maybe this is your hint to check them out. Check out Monsta X. Also check out I Am. He has his own solo music. Maybe you'll find some interesting things in there. He talks about things like duality a lot. So maybe that's something that you would be interested in. You also have wrap gifts. So you might be getting some gifts from the universe, but not only that, but you might have some gifts that you're giving to other people. Maybe birthday time is important for you, or maybe Christmas time is important for you if you celebrate Christmas or some other holidays, whatever it may be. And then you have kiss, kiss, kiss. So again, that romance vibe. You have the letter C. There is a little diamond charm on here. So this could be your initial. It could be the initial of your person. It could be a place where you end up moving to. It could be a place where you visit. Maybe you're going to visit Canada, or maybe your name is Carol or Charles or Corey or something. But take that as it resonates too. And then I'm going to let Laina explain this one, but this is the unicorn in the popcorn bucket.
Okay, so for this sticker in particular, when I see it, that sticker makes me think of like your cup being filled, especially because it has a little heart on it. So it makes me think of like the heart chakra. And it makes me think of like things that are going to happen for you this year are going to fill up your cup. And you can see that it's going to overflow as well. And it's going to be very, 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 very magical as well. You're almost going to be, I think, in disbelief by the magic that comes into your life, which is really, really beautiful because you've earned it. Like you can see here, you planted the seeds, so you're harvesting them, and it's just going to feel like this magical change. You're going to feel really, really interesting. And what's funny about that is, as while Bekah was talking, I felt the need to look up the meaning of corgis for some reason. And so speaking of magic, apparently, did you know that corgis are the dog of the Fae?
I did not know that.
So if you like, Fae or work with Fae at all, like fairies used to ride corgis into battle, apparently. And they also say that basically they have the energy of the Fae, so like they're kind of like a magical little dog. It says that they tend to have a little dark patch of fur like under their shoulders, and that tends to be known as like the fairy saddle. So just to kind of like, it says that they're also trained warriors, and they're great helpers for the Fae folk. So like, again, to me, corgis could be a symbol for you, and like this could just be Spirit's way of telling you that there's magic in your life and to keep remembering the magic. Or like we said, you might get a corgi that's a familiar for you, and like, it brings a lot of love and abundance into your life. But I felt really drawn to look that up, and I think that's so interesting. Like that's so cool. Like I was like, what?
That is super cool. But yes, hopefully that makes you feel excited. I think that you're going to have a really wonderful year. I think it's very exciting and a lot of change. And I think, that you'll be just fine, and you'll be very happy with all of these changes and surprises that come your way. Just remember that they're meant for you. Yes. If you were drawn to any of the other piles, you know what? Go ahead and you can watch however many piles you want. But that was this pile. So if you want to, you can leave us a like, comment, hit subscribe, let us know what you thought. We have all sorts of social media. You can find us on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. We're all over the place. Look in our description below. We also have Spotify playlists. We have a website. You can get a hold of us however you want. If you would like any personal readings or anything like that, we do offer those. As far as astrology, Reiki, tarot, whatever it may be, all of that's on our website. But hopefully these messages resonated for you. But that's what we had. So hopefully we see you in our next reading.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing that we wanted to start doing is we wanted to start thanking guides. We watch Rosology. We love when she does it, and it's something that we want to continue here. So let's just say I want to thank your guides, my guides, our guides, Bekah's guides as well, for all of the beautiful messages. We wish you the best year. Remember, it's your birthday and you can cry if you want to, like that old song. You can do whatever you want. So watch as many piles as you want, eat lots of good food, take care of yourself, and have a very, very, very beautiful year. Bye-bye, galaxies.
Bye, guys. If you picked pile 2, then you picked Eunwoo, which he has this quote here. I'll read it back to you again. It says, "You always stay in my life. I'm trying to connect the dots. Now I can hear you. I can feel you change my world. When the dark night is about to grow, the universe shines brighter on me. Thank you, my universe," which is from the song My Universe, which is super soft. And then you also have, I call this Pluto, but they didn't really label them. We'll call it Pluto. Basically, this is going to be all about your solar return, which solar return is just a fancy term for your birthday. It just means that the sun is back at the place where it was when you were born. And that happens once per year because the earth takes a whole year to revolve around the sun, which is why we call it a year, because that's how we measure it. But basically, it just means that each year on your birthday, things are kind of reset. And so you have a year where you now move into a new energy. So it doesn't matter if it's your birthday today, if your birthday is next week, if your birthday is in a couple months, if you just had your birthday, whatever it is, it's whatever birthday is closest. So if you have like 2 months left out of the year, then I would say in 2 months on that birthday, that's what this reading is going to be about. So next year. But basically, it doesn't matter when you're watching this. It's timeless. This is just going to be what can you expect for your birthday and for that solar year. So from that birthday to the next one, what can you expect to happen in your life, or what is happening in your life and will continue to happen in your life if you just had a birthday like I did in September. So if I would have chosen this pile, then that would be what's currently going to be happening in this year for me until next year on my birthday. So just keep that in mind. But we have tarot, we have oracles, we have astro dice, we have lyrics, and then we also have a little present that has some stuff in it. So be excited because it's going to tell you about what to expect for your year, maybe some confirmation in there. But we're going to do things a little differently today. We did say we were going to do channel messages, but we're doing them throughout. So we're not having like a separate section for those. But we're going to start with astro dice to get a feel for what's going to happen this year. And then we're going to do the lyrics. So we're doing things a little bit reversed than we normally do. But we're going to go ahead and get started for you. So we're going to roll some dice to see kind of what you get. Oh, and before we do that, we did have some messages come through. I had Lovesick Girls by Blackpink playing in my head. I don't know if that means anything to you, but that came through.
Yes. Also jazz, something about jazz music is coming through, so that could be important to you. I was making me think of that movie Soul. So if you haven't seen that movie, the Pixar movie, I believe it's Pixar. Anyway, Pixar, Disney. Don't come for me, please. But it's a really good movie. Also kind of has to do with jazz. That movie's kind of coming up for some reason, so that could be something for you to look into.
Yes. Okay. So we'll start with some astro dice. So we got 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces. We have Virgo, which is ruler of the 6th house normally, and then Jupiter, which is Sagittarius energy, but that's super exciting. So for me, this is talking about having more faith in your day-to-day routine. It also tells me a lot about having a lot of luck and a lot of expansion happening in that area of your life. So whether that be that you're going to be feeling more compassionate about like living in your faith, or you're going to be doing a lot more when it comes to spirituality, a lot more when it comes to doing things that you enjoy doing that are artistic, and that can kind of delve in and help you deal with emotions and feelings and like underlying things, hidden truths, things like that are going to start coming up. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of healing around your routine in the sense of you're going to be expanding what you do when it comes to things like spirituality, music, art, creativity, All of those things are going to be expanding for you, which is really, really exciting. But that means that you're going to be getting more in touch with your spiritual side or with that creative, artistic side of yourself, that very Piscean energy. You're going to be getting more in touch with that and having that in your life on a more day-to-day basis in your routine.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Something else that I noticed was that, like, right when Bekah threw the dice, there was a flash of lightning that hit because she's having a storm right now as we're filming this. So for me, like, that spirit saying that there's going to be a lot of quick change for you this year, potentially unexpected things, lots of surprises. You also might be working on your throat chakra this year and speaking your truth, because my throat felt a little scratchy right now as I was just talking. So definitely exercising that throat chakra is going to be really important for you. So you can do this by singing. You can do this by, again, speaking up, speaking your truth. Warm tea is good for the throat chakra. Definitely something that I'm feeling. And like the upper chest area, like that, like respiratory area. So like take care of that area because it might be a little bit sensitive. And again, this can also be like that heart chakra opening up. So you could be having things, because with the 12th house, I think of things, those are like things that are hidden. So you might have a lot of fears, a lot of like shadows kind of things kind of surface this year, but it's going to be in a good way, because I feel like you're going to be opening up to them in the way that like you're able to kind of work with them and work through them. And then because you're able to do that, like kind of like what Bekah was talking about, there's going to be a huge expansion. So that's very exciting.
Mm-hmm. So we'll roll one more time to see if there's anything else they want you to know. Virgo again, 10th house, so your house of career and Saturn, and then your sun. So that's all about the self. Usually the sun rules over Leo, but it is all about the self and all about like creativity, using expression of the self. So I feel like with work, you're going to be expressing yourself personally. A lot of you probably work for yourselves, or you do something creative where you're able to express your thoughts and your design and creativity in your own way. If you are not currently working a job where you can do that, you might be getting a job where you can do that, where you can express what you want to express and do the art that you want to do. I feel like your routine is going to be changing in the way that it'll allow you to really feel more fulfilled. And this is talking about work routine. So I feel like your work routine is going to be changing in a way that helps you to feel like you're being seen. Some of you might be changing jobs. Some of you might be getting promoted. Some of you might just be finding ways to incorporate more of what you love to do into your day to day. Some of you might be just spending more time doing creative things, like maybe some of you are musicians, maybe some of you are artists, you like to paint or draw, or maybe you're writers. But whatever it may be, it has to do with your work life and your career and your everyday routine, as well as your coworkers. So I feel like things in your everyday are going to be changing, but in a very good way. And the way that I feel this is kind of like a watery energy, where it's like a positive kind of like a things flow easily. And I feel like you're already kind of starting to flow into this energy right now. And I feel like you're allowing things to take you. And that's kind of why you're getting to this place where every day just feels like comforting to you. Like it's just kind of like, well, no matter what I do in my job right now, I'm doing something that makes me happy and makes me feel like myself. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yes. And then also too, your career. So if you're doing something right now that you don't like, I think you'll find a lot of fulfillment in a career that has to do with some type of service. Now, of course, like this can do with like, the when we think about service, like childcare, like, taking care of other people, doctor, nurse, sort of things. But career service can also just be, again, like we have a lot about that creative energy. So this can be about you putting out your art because that can be helpful to someone. This can be because you had the Pisces with like that has mystical aspect to it. This could be about being into like the occult, into Reiki, into spiritual healing of some kind. Like again, you're going to know what's suited for you. But I think that with this solar return, you're really, like Bekah was saying, going to be finding your footing in your career, and because you're doing that, you're going to be helping a lot of people, and that's going to be making you feel even more fulfilled, which is really lovely.
I agree. So that's what we have for your dice. Now we're gonna get some lyrics for you, some Astro lyrics, and I'm doing all live shuffling. I don't know if I mentioned that in this pile yet. Well, there's one, and we'll do one more.
It was the fake one.
Yes, that one was fast. That one was meant for this pile. Apparently, it was waiting in the wings. Second one, maybe not so much. I might just have to see it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
They're being choosy.
Yes. Okay, so this one, Stardust. Okay, the galaxy that shines brightly with you got me stargaze. I'm not lonely anymore. I'm in your arms. A night in which starlight is pouring over my head. Stardust by Astro. I don't know why I said by Astro. It's fine. They're all by Astro. But yes. And I'm going to read the other one just to see if it has a similar message or if it's different. And then we'll go and see what we pick up off of them. There you go. Okay, so the other one is Starry Sky. And it says, like a platinum sky, look up. We draw an endless destiny and shine towards each other. Our starry sky. I'll be your star that shines for a long time. That one thing alone is enough for me. You trusted in me, so I'll protect you with everything I have. I never want to lose your light. You're the only one. It's from Starry Sky. And actually, this is number 3 and number 4 piles quotes. So if you were drawn to either of those piles, I would say definitely this is a sign maybe you should watch them. But for me, these both talk about stars, first of all. So I feel like there's a lot of hope, a lot of dreaming going on, which with Pisces, that's a very dreamy energy, and you had that come out already. But then they also both are talking about a relationship that's kind of like, it feels like it was kind of like destined, or it's like magical or written in the stars. So it's possible that you could be meeting someone as well. And then this one also talks about protection. And I feel like that might have to do with like home and family. But it could also have to do with another person, or it could even be with protecting like yourself and what you love, and standing up for yourself. So, you know, there are a couple different things that we can see there, and we'll have to check out your cards to get more on like maybe some details, but that's what I'm picking up from the lyrics.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And the thing that I want to point out too, in the Starry Sky, it was talking about like protection. So I feel like you guys are divinely protected no matter what. And then if you think about your lyric that we had on your pile topper, that was talking from my universe. Like it talked about how like when the dark comes in, then like the universe shines brighter on you. So again, that gives me that essence of protection. So just know that, like, which I know everybody hates this sentence, but if you do have some tougher times this year, remember that things are happening for you, not to you. So a good way that sometimes that I think it was Kino who put it this way. Kino, which if you don't watch her channel, you should. She's great. She talked about in a pile that we were watching one time, Bekah and I were watching, and she said something about how rephrasing that, yeah, I think it was her. Someone, anyway, not the point. The whole thing of just rephrasing that question of like, instead of looking at like, why did this happen to me, try and look at like, why, like in the other words of like, why did this happen for like for me basically, or like what did I learn from this, what did I gain from this? And it doesn't invalidate anything that happened to you, not at all, because those things could still be hard and terrifying, but it's mostly for you and your own inner peace, and so that you can kind of come back from that, like, you know, experience and kind of say like, okay, like I kind of understand now, like why, like because this led to this, which led to this, which got me this, you know, like that type of thing, like where you're, and I think, your thing talked about connecting the dots. So yes, you guys are going to start to see how the dots connect and how everything that happened got you to where you are now, even if there were some tougher times.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So that's what we have for your lyrics. You should definitely go listen to Astro. All of their music is beautiful, but those are your songs. And everybody got different songs, might I add. So no two piles will have the same songs that come out, unless it's on their pile topper. So like I said, if you felt drawn to any other piles, you should definitely watch them. We're going to go ahead and get into oracles now. So these are going to see if they can give us a little bit more confirmation. The first one you have is water element, which is sensing. I think I have these. Sorry, I'm adjusting. You're thinking real hard on this. Okay. They have Scorpio, I transform.
Yeah, lots of water.
Yes, like I said, it feels like a very flowy energy. Oh. Okay. And then you also got first house, the body, which we'll talk about that in a second. One other thing about the sixth house is that it does also have to do with health as well. So if you're very into like your health this year, you might just be making some changes. Let's see, we have Cancer, the doula.
You guys have to have at least one major water placement.
For real. Okay. You have Venus, which is love.
Oh, soft.
Oh, sorry. These are kind of out of frame a little bit.
So as she's shuffling the last of these cards, I'll talk about kind of a little bit about like what I'm getting. So because Venus is placed right under the I transform for Scorpio, this Scorpio season could be like, depending on when you're watching this, right? So like from, you know, that birthday to this birthday, or even if it's just right now going into your next birthday, that Venus, like with Scorpio, I feel like you're really going to transform love in your life. And then we have like the doula, Cancer. So it's like, it's not only that you're transforming, and I don't just mean romantic love. I think the way that you look at love in general, and especially the way that you look at love with yourself. Because I almost get this sense of like, you're very, very, very good at, and with Leo here too, yeah, it's kind of like you're very good at putting on the appearance, I think, that you're okay, but you might not take care of your own emotions. You might not take care of, like, you might not actually check in with how you're feeling. You might do things to people please. With the Cancer thing, you might be very nurturing. You might often look after others, but not really yourself. And so I feel like not only, you know, you might, and some of you, yes, like you might actually take really great care of your body. Some of you maybe not so much, but it's almost like it comes from a place of that it's actually not really for you. It's almost like because again, like with that Leo, I keep thinking of superficial, like that's kind of what I keep hearing. Like, so you're going to be transforming all of that in the sense that you're really going to be doing these things now for you. And because you're doing that, that's going to be helpful for others. And so you're really going to be tapping into those feelings. You're going to be tapping into your emotions. You're going to change the way that you love yourself, which is going to completely change your life.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I get from this, since this is also about some things that might be happening for you, I think that with this, you have the Lover and Venus, which Leo is the house of romantic feelings. So it's about like new love and like puppy love and like relationships. I mean, it's also about creativity and expression as well. But along with Venus, which is the home of like long-term commitment and love and like your values, beauty, harmony, romance, charm, like it's very much the vibe that there might be somebody coming in for you. And it might be that brings up some issues as far as like maybe you have never had a relationship before, or like not one that's super deep. And there's so much water energy that I feel like whatever the situation is, if it is a relationship, it is going to be very deep. And it's going to be a depth that you're not used to and you're not used to sharing with other people. And so I feel like that I transform could very much also be about that and about just completely transforming the way that you see love with other people as well. And not just like the superficial, like romantic Hallmark stuff, but like the nitty gritty stuff too. So I feel like it might be bringing up some things as well, because it might be that this person either reflects things back to you that you don't know about yourself, or that, you know, or wounds that are long buried and they start coming up. And I feel like you're going to have someone that's very nurturing come in, that's going to be able to help you through that process and will be able to be there for you on a deeper level. And it's just really going to transform the way not only you see them, but the way that you see love and the way that you see yourself as a person.
Yes, I agree. I think that's a super great point, because yeah, water is reflective. So you might actually, like Bekah said, have someone that reflects things to you, but it'll be good. And I was picking up on that too, like when she was talking, that yes, the person that comes into your life is going to be able to like help you with this. And I don't want you guys to take this because I know that this is something Bekah and I kind of struggle with, of being like, you know, you hear all the time about like, you know, codependency, and like we think there's a thing out there personally about people saying that like it's toxic independence in our opinion, because we think that like you have to be independent and be completely fine in yourself before you find love. And like there is a certain truth to that, but not completely, because you need, as humans, we need interdependence. And I think for you guys, kind of like what Bekah was saying, maybe you've never really opened up to someone in that ways because you've always been kind of independent. I have to take care of myself. I have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And now you're going to get this chance to open and expand that part of you that you never have before. And, you know, it's okay to lean and rely on someone. It doesn't mean you're toxic. That's something I want to stress.
Yes, I definitely agree. We're going to go ahead and get your other oracle cards. Before we get to that. And maybe they'll give us some more ideas on what you can expect, or maybe some more details. The deets. Okay. Nope. Okay. Well, we'll take that one. Okay. So your first card is the answers you need are coming, which is full moon in Gemini. And the bottom of the deck was don't let your past hold you back, which is South Node.
Which makes sense.
Yes, it does make a lot of sense, because obviously we just talked about that. You got called. It says soul gifts and training. It's time to step up.
So I think a lot of you, I feel bad, but maybe we triggered you a little bit while talking in this reading, because I'm suddenly feeling like this very heavy, like anxiousness in my chest, and kind of like a little bit like, I'm not really struggling to breathe, but like I said, it's just a heaviness where I'm a little bit like I'm very aware all of a sudden. So like if we poked at your wounds, I'm sorry. I really am. Like, we don't want to hurt you, because this is supposed to be like a really positive reading about you, and it is. It's really beautiful, but I know that like it can be hard. And then like I'm seeing called. Basically, spirit is kind of gonna be making you uncomfortable to make you comfortable. Does that make sense? Like, because you have here, look, transcend the limits, called. You're being asked to step into these gifts that you're not maybe necessarily used to. Especially if this has to do with love and you've never loved before, like your divine purpose, it might sound cheesy, but it might be true. It might actually be to find this person, because you guys might build upon something, you know, even like greater for yourself, or it could even be to just to find your community that helps you do these things. So but yeah, basically spirit is saying like, hey, it's your time to shine, it's time to step up. And that might be a little bit anxiety inducing for you, and just know that it's okay, but I hope that you take these steps even if they're scary.
I mean, I'm not sorry. I mean, I don't want you to be triggered, but at the same time, if we're triggering you, that means that you're being made aware of something that you can heal, which is part of our job. So but I'm a
True.
little bit more harsh than Laina. So you also got ninth house, which is Sagittarius and Jupiter. So there, that Jupiter came out again, which Jupiter is about gifts. It's also about luck and expansion. So again, I'm going to bring that up and stress that because your other cards are great, and I'll read them in a second. This one says, this is the house of higher and elevated thought, as well as expansion. It covers long distance travel, foreign language, inspiration, optimism, publications, higher education, spirituality, philosophy, religion, ideals, morals, and ethics. And it's I know. And then the other one you got is the sun, which is Leo, fifth house energy, which is self-expression, ego, creativity, and identity. You've had a lot of Leo come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your fixed star cards. So this one is Aries energy. It is Saturn and Mercury. And then it's the second house, which is Albotane, which is reconciliation and serenity. And it says, in order to be approached by others, you first must encounter your anger. And then the other one you got is Vertex, which is celebration and recognition, which is also Aries energy. I don't know if you can see that teeny tiny little Aries. And then it's also Venus and Venus. So this is double Venus, Aries. And then this is honor your soul, bestow virtue to those who fathom your value.
Dang, I should have said it. I was going to say, hey, some of you might have an Aries Venus, so, because I wasn't even looking. I had my eyes closed when you pulled that card.
Yes. So from what I'm getting, again, it's very much about, like, there are a lot of really beautiful things coming. Like, you have answers coming, transcending the limits. You have celebration, recognition, reconciliation, like, you know, and you have a lot of Jupiter energy as well, which again, like I said, is gifts and luck and expansion. Lots of higher learning, lots of spiritual references. If you're not spiritual, this is probably not the group for you. So you might want to try a different one. If you've gotten this far and you're like, what is all this spiritual stuff? Because for this group, like I said in the beginning, there's a lot about spirituality and a lot about opening up to more faith, because you have a lot of that Sagittarian energy as well as Pisces, which Pisces is about faith as in like what you believe on a deep level, whereas like the ninth house in Sagittarius is about religion. So learning different religions, learning different things about spirituality, and finding that knowledge so that you can cultivate what it is that you believe. And then Pisces is about the faith that you have in that thing that you've cultivated. So I think that a lot of you are going to be going through a big period where you are going to be coming into new levels of faith in whatever way that may be. New beliefs in yourself, belief in love, belief in spirit, into the universe, into manifestation, law of attraction, but mostly in yourself. Like, if I'm looking at all of this honestly, like, you have a lot about the self, about the ego, about the body, about the fifth house, about Leo. Like, there's so much. And I feel like you're going to be in a place where you feel much more at home in your own body. But I also feel like part of that is going to come with someone coming into your life. And it might start out as friends first. It might not. It might escalate very quickly. It might be that you have multiple friends that come into your life, some soul family that comes in. You might have a guru that comes in that helps you and teaches you. There's lots of different things that could be. But I feel like there's going to be someone that comes in and that helps you really see those wounds in a clear light and helps you heal them. And you're going to be feeling more like yourself and more happy, more content, and celebrating those victories and seeing things come to life and seeing the magic and having more belief. And like, that's the vibe that I get.
Mm-hmm. And then Bekah Bekah read the card, the Aries one that talked about your anger. And I think that's a little bit not just interesting, because I had just talked about how you might have some stuff that like might have triggered you that could be bringing things up. And we talked about this with your other cards about how there might be some like hidden things that you're healing. And that could be anger for some of you. And it could be like, you know, anger from being hurt before, anger from this. And it's like, you know, to get deeper into this first, you must kind of like heal your anger. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with a good way that I like to, things that I like to do with anger. Obviously, with the body, like anything physical, like boxing, you know, running, those types of things are great for like letting out anger. But other things great for that, breath work is super great for letting out anger, and like getting it out. There's different types of breath work. Like there's more like intense breath works, and then there's a little bit easier ones, like where you work with the breath. There's EFT tapping. That's really great for letting out and releasing anger, or any emotions like guilt, shame, anything. EFT tapping is really great for that. Other thing that I feel like could be really beneficial for this group, yoga actually can be great for letting out, because like there's certain points in the body, especially with that, like I said, where we hold a lot of like emotion, and emotion can be trapped in the body. And so there are certain yoga poses. I believe it's a specific type of yoga. I don't remember what it's called, but you can look it up, and it's just basically like, it's a very gentle yoga practice, but it's like where you're laying there and you're unlocking like the opening up your hips to let like trapped emotions out of there, things like that. And that can be very therapeutic and cathartic for you. And you might be a little bit like, like, I don't know, because some people do this and they end up like they're laying there and they just start crying. But it's okay, let yourself cry, like let the anger out. Something that I do sometimes, which I know is silly, but it works. You can do these things like where you, sometimes I'll lay in bed and I'll just like let myself have a tantrum to myself. Like I'll just be like, which is silly, but it works. It helps me get out like repressed anger, because I currently live in a situation where like when I get upset, I'm not really allowed to express it. And yes, I'm working to get out of that situation, but I can't right now, just because like it's tradition and family, and like there are certain things that I just can't do at the moment until I'm out of this space. But I'll lay in bed and I'll just like kick and scream, like, and obviously not when everyone can hear me, and I'll just like kick the bed and scream. Like, I'm talking about laying on the bed, like don't kick your bed frame and hurt yourself. I'm rambling now, but anyway, lay down and just be like, and just like let it out, man. Like I know it seems silly and you might be like, this is weird, but it's better than keeping it in. And you can even, like they say that like swearing helps with pain, so you could even be like, I'm not gonna say swears because YouTube is a turd, but you can be like bleep bleep bleep, like whatever swear words you want, or you don't have to. But basically what I'm saying is like, if you have anger is usually a sign of another emotion underneath it, which is usually hurt, so it needs to come out. So basically you need to let it out, and that's going to be really helpful for you this year.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We're going to move on to your tarot. Hold on one second. Okay, any final messages before we get into your box of goodies? Okay. One second. Okay. Interesting. All right, so we got this for the first group, so I'm surprised. 7 of Pentacles, which is Saturn and Taurus. And then you also have the 4 of Swords, which is Jupiter again and Libra, which is that Venus energy. Okay. Take that one because it came out up. You have the 9 of Cups, which again is Jupiter and Pisces.
You guys really need to check your Jupiter placement in this group. Like, I don't know if it's at you enough.
Yeah. You have the High Priestess, which is the moon, and then grab the bottom. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the 2 of Swords, which is the moon in Libra. Maybe if I can get them down. Okay. For me, what this is saying is that you need to, when you're taking a rest period, make sure you're resting. Like that's the first and foremost thing I see, which is rich of me to say because I have a hard time resting. So really, I understand. But basically right now you're in a time period where you've planted the seeds and now you have to wait for them to grow, because the universe has heard what you are saying and they're going to give it to you. Like I said, you have a lot of Jupiter that's come out. And Jupiter, again, good luck, rewards, gifts, talents, things like that. But it's also about expansion and learning and knowledge and spirituality. And you have the High Priestess, which is someone who's very, very spiritual. You have a lot of moon references. You even had Cancer. You have 2 moons out here, which for me is all about your intuition and letting your feelings and your soul guide you and not your brain. And I think basically what Spirit's saying is you need to take a break from overthinking. You need to take an actual break when you're taking a break. So instead of like, okay, well, today I don't have to do like my normal work, but maybe I should do this, and this, because like if I get those done now, then that would just be really easy. But you're tired, right? Sleep, take a nap, take a time out. Some of you need to take a vacation this year. Need to take some time to yourself to really allow yourself to absorb things. When you're feeling burnt out, or when you're feeling tired, or when you're kind of in this like rut feeling, that's a sign that you need to take a break and that you need to go and be with yourself, maybe have a little hermit moment, do some self-care, practice some love, like just, it's one of those things where it's like things are going to move regardless of if you are stressed or if you're not stressed, if you're putting too much pressure on yourself or not. Like things are moving forward, things are growing. But there's always this saying that everybody says, which is basically like, you don't yell at a plant for not growing fast enough. Like you don't sit there and yell at a seed every day, right? I mean, if you do, maybe we should talk about your anger issues. You might need to go to anger management. But
why aren't you crying?
Yes. But basically with these seeds, like, you already planted them. And so it's one of those things of, I think this year it's about really seeing that you've already done the work, you already did it, and you're going to start getting your rewards. And I think the more patient you are, the more you'll see the rewards and things that you're getting, and the more gratitude you'll have, and the faster things seem to go. And you'll be enjoying things more. You have the 9 of Cups, which is literally wish fulfillment. So, and Spirit, for me, this is saying like, if you just rest and allow yourself to take a breather, these things that you've been trying to get or manifest, Spirit's going to put them right in your lap, and they're going to give you so much stuff that you're going to have no way to dispute your faith anymore. Like, especially when you have the 2 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, like that for me is saying like, this is basically, you're not going to have a choice. Like things are going to happen regardless, and you're going to get these manifestations, but it's whether you allow yourself to sit there and overthink and be miserable, or you move through it and you allow yourself to rest and have that grace for yourself and care about yourself and nurture yourself through the process, even when it's really hard.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. The only thing that I want to add really quick is that I heard as the tarot cards are coming out, like Feel It Coming by The Weeknd. So great song. Check it out if you don't know it. But for me, I'm just focused on that line about like, like he says, I feel it coming, and because you have the High Priestess and we've got so much about water, which water is the most, water signs tend to be the most psychic signs. They're very in tune with their emotions, with the universe. They're connected. So, that's the thing, is like, you always know when something is off. You always know when something is right. And you have to trust it. And you have to know that these things are coming, and just trust it. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Like, you could be like, I just know I'm going to meet my person this year, for example. And people are like, what are you talking about? You can't know that. And you're like, I just know. And you're like, I just know that I'm going to be successful this year. I just know. Like, if you know it, just believe in it. Because that's really, like, I think the only thing that holds you back is the fact that you doubt your own ability to, like, you just doubt that ability that you could be right about this. And so, like, because like what Bekah said, you planted these seeds, you've done all the work, and now you just kind of have to sit in that place of knowing, in that high priestess energy of like, all right, things are unfolding. I don't know how, but they are, and I trust it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And it's just, people might be like, what? You're nuts. Like, and you're just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yes, exactly. So that's what we got from your tarot. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my favorite part now, which is the present. So this is your birthday gift for this year. I'm excited to see what is inside of here. So we're going to open it. I don't want to ruin
my... Present time. Open the present and see what's inside.
Yes. Okay. Now, I took whatever came out and I have no idea what is in here because I did this a couple days ago. Yesterday? A couple days ago? I don't know. I don't even remember when I did it. So, here we go. Okay, we have a 6 on a dice. So maybe you're rolling the dice and getting lucky. 6 is
Gemini.
Yes, 6 is Gemini. It's also the number of love generally. Sometimes people associate it with spirituality. This is a Christmas ornament. So maybe you were born around Christmas, or maybe Christmas time is important for you. No worries, be happy.
Cute.
Okay, another little star. Oh, cute. You have a guy playing a guitar for a girl, and their little hearts. So potentially that person that we talked about, maybe while you're using your skills, you have a passport. So maybe some travel is foreseen. The number
vacation Bekah told you to seek.
Yes, the number 4, which is all about Cancer energy, but it's also about foundation, strong foundation, being secure. It's also about celebration. And this is some holly, so that's also a Christmas reference. But it could also be Cancer season, which is not April. April is Aries and is Aries season, but it could be Cancer season as well because it's the 4th sign in the zodiac, which would be in the summer. You have the elephant, which the elephant for me talks about wisdom, but it also talks about family. Elephant for me is actually a very spiritual symbol. So for me, that could talk about, again, being very grounded in your spirituality, maybe getting more wisdom, being able to express that wisdom more. You have, you make me so happy. So cute. Okay, bananas. Maybe you like bananas or are going to be eating a lot of bananas. Maybe you like Gwen Stefani. That song is stuck in my head now. This is bananas, Bananas. You have, you are here. So again, traveling, maybe, going someplace new, exploring. Maybe that's that hermit moment you take to yourself. Maybe you go hiking or maybe you go on a trip. You have a girl where there's somebody poking her on the shoulder, getting her attention.
She's also blushing.
Yes, which is very cute. You got hello gorgeous with a third eye.
Like I said,
You have I want to eat Japanese food.
So maybe Japan is where you're traveling.
Maybe that's where you're going to take your trip when everything's all open again. You have yas. So that's that king queen energy. Having it all. You have a little Pegasus, which I think I talked about this in the last pile, but Pegasus for me always makes me think of the Chariot, which again is Cancer energy, but it makes me think of the Chariot with fast moving change. Also freedom is one thing that I always think of. Just that's that.
That popped that song into my head, which I don't know who sings it, but the one I'm free falling.
Oh, Tom Petty. I know John Mayer covered it.
Yeah.
You got 2 butterflies. So again, all of that transformation, freedom. So there's a lot of change happening in your life, but it's going to be really good change. You got the letter H. which could be an initial, it could be a place. Maybe you're going to go to Hawaii. It could be holiday. It could be a name of hope, home, a city, whatever that may be for you. It could be the name of your person. You got another passport.
Do you think these people are going to travel?
I don't know. I can't tell. And then you got the tree of life. So for me, that's about being rooted though. Even though these are branches, if you turned over, they look like roots. And so for me, this makes me think of like being grounded and being steady. Like there's an affirmation that's basically like, I am a tree, or like, I am stable as a tree. Like, I feel like, and I mean, there's also like, I am a mountain, but like, this is, I am a tree. And so for me, this is very much about like reaching out, making connections, but still being strongly rooted, and having a very strong sense of foundation, which again goes with that number 4 that we got. Oh, and last but not least, you have a girl and a guy toasting with their beers.
That's cute.
So celebration came out again. So just like I said in your oracle cards, like there's going to be a lot to celebrate and you're going to have people to celebrate it with.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that wholeheartedly. From these, the main message that I'm picking up is that, again, like a lot of things that we already talked about, I'm really stuck like on the travel thing. There's going to be some type of movement or travel or something of that sort. Like Bekah said, that vacation is going to be really important. And you just need to kind of go with it and allow yourself to take it and allow yourself that time, especially because you have that rest with the 4 of Swords. So you need this time out. And like, you might feel like, how can I take a vacation right now? Like, I'm at the top of my game, I'm at the peak of my career, right? But you could also stay and overwork yourself and then burn out and crash. Or you could take the vacation, like 2 weeks off, and then like you might be rejuvenated and have all these ideas, and then things just like really flow. You might meet the love of your life while you're on vacation. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen. So you just kind of have to trust it. And then also 4, like Bekah was right, April for our traditional year from January to December is the 4th month. So April could be important for you, or December 4th, since we're talking about the holiday time potentially. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there for some additional needs. But yeah, so excited.
Yes, you're going to have a very exciting year, even though some of it may be triggering sometimes. I feel like for the most part, very lucky, very happy year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what we had for you. If you were attracted to one of the other piles, feel free. Like I said, both of your cards referenced pile 3 and 4. So if you're attracted to either of those, you can go ahead and watch one of those or both of them, or, you know, whatever you want to do. But otherwise, you can leave us a like, a comment. You can hit subscribe. We have all social media. So if you want to find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, you know, you're already on YouTube. I was going to say YouTube, but you're already here. So you can find us on any social media. All of our links are below in the description box. But yeah, that's what we had for you. So hopefully we see you. Oh, we almost forgot. We've started something new now where we're thanking our guides. So I just want to thank your guides, my guides, Laina's guides, all of our guides for your guidance today and for allowing us to read for you. We appreciate it. But thank you. Hopefully we see you next time.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye, my galaxies. Stay safe and blessed and healthy. Please stay healthy and have a beautiful, beautiful birthday. And remember, you can do whatever you want. Eat lots of cake and good food. Bye-bye.
If you picked pile 3, then you picked MJ. So here he is. And his quote is, "I can feel it even when I close my eyes, a starlight that wraps around me. It's strange, but it feels cozy. You're stardust. Baby, you are stardust," which is from Stardust. Super soft song. But basically, this is all about your solar return, which is just a fancy term for your birthday. So each year, Earth makes its way around the sun one time. So your solar return is when the sun is at the same exact place as it was at the time you were born in your birth chart. So it's your birthday, basically. It doesn't matter if your birthday is today, if it's next week, if it's next month, if it's, you know, a month ago, whatever it is, you know, this is about the year of this solar return. So for me, my birthday was in September. So for me, any messages that I would get if I picked a pile would be about this year, starting with my birthday in September, all the way to next September. But for somebody in like November, it would be about November to November. So they would start when their birthday happens in November. Now, of course, this is a timeless reading. So whenever you find this, it is still valid for you. So don't worry about like, oh, well, I found this a long time ago, or I just found this and like I'm just now watching it and it's been forever. Well, that's totally fine. It doesn't matter. It just goes for whatever, whenever you're finding this, whatever your birthday is, this is about what is going to happen. Maybe some things that we can see. What's the energy going to be like? What are some changes that are going on? What's exciting? It's very exciting. So we have lots for you today. And we said we were going to do channel messages, but we're actually doing them throughout the reading. But that's just because we have so much going on. So we're going to do dice and lyrics first, which I know we normally do those at the end, but we're doing those at the beginning this time. And then we're doing oracles and then tarot. And then we have this fancy little box here, which is your present for this year. So we'll get into that and see what's in there and what that could give us. So lots today, but yeah, we're going to start with dice, but I'm going to see, I don't know if Laina had anything come through while I was talking.
Yes. Okay, so I had 3 things come through. So first is that I saw like this ivy growing, like a big kind of growing upwards. So for me, this is again about like your growth. You might be an earth sign, you might relate to the earth, you might work really well with the earth. So that could be a message for you. Just for me, this is about your growth. And so I think that we'll see that you've done a lot of work. And so there's a lot of growth that's happened. And there's probably going to be a ton of blessings with solar return for you, which is awesome. Another thing I saw, which could be a blessing coming in for you, is I saw lots of $100 bills. So maybe you're going to have lots of monies coming in, which is great. And then I saw Saturn. So for some of you, this could be like, you know, you're coming out of your Saturn return, you're coming into it, but definitely this is about like, and so yeah, I just saw Saturn, so that could be important somehow. You could be a Capricorn, so.
Yes, you could have very strong placements in your 10th house, or something crazy career related could happen that could be really good for you if you're seeing you're seeing monies. One thing you said Ivy, and that makes me think of the song Ivy by Taylor Swift. Also Poison Ivy, the comic book character by DC. That might be something for you. Okay, but we're gonna shuffle.
Also heard something about gold again right now. I missed it a little bit, but something about gold. So maybe it'll pop up in the reading.
There's a song by Sleeping with Sirens. It's about gold. All we ever want is gold. Maybe you can look that up while I roll. All we ever want, maybe it's just called gold. I don't know. But basically that just popped into my head. So I'm going to roll these and see maybe if we get some signs, maybe some things that'll happen. Okay. First house, Neptune and Pisces. So faith in yourself and in the universe. Very strong this year. So for a lot of you, you know, first house is traditionally ruled by Aries. So you might have some Aries placements, but you also got Pisces and Neptune. So for me, this is very much about like believing in your dreams, believing in yourself, hidden things coming to the surface and being healed. But I feel like you've done a lot of that. And so now it's just having the faith and the trust in yourself and knowing that you are capable. It's about also maybe tapping into like your creative gifts, into bringing things to life that maybe have been handed down to you. If you are someone who's spiritual, you get a lot of downloads, and maybe you like to draw or paint or make music or write or sing or whatever it may be. You have like a creative hobby. You might be, getting called to use that creative hobby to express yourself and to express the messages that you get. And I think that in doing so, it's going to be growing your faith in the universe and humanity and in yourself.
Okay, so I saw daisies now. So the flower daisies might have a meaning for you. And yes, Bekah is right. That song, the lyric is how like basically all we ever want is gold. And that song is kind of about how like you learn things the hard way and like things will fall apart, but only so the new things can come in. So it's yeah, super spiritual. And I feel like you know, like all we want is gold. I'm sure it has like a really deep meaning about how like we tend to think about money and like that it has a lot of value when it really doesn't. But this song even says like we made our mistakes, it's not too late. So this is about not giving up and I definitely to me not thinking that like, oh, like I missed my boat, like my opportunity's gone. Like it's like no, the opportunity is still coming. Like don't worry about it. Everything's gonna work out for the best in the way that it's meant to. Now, I'm gonna look up daisies really quick because they came in really strongly.
Bohemian Rhapsody just popped into my head, so that might be important to you.
So it says daisies symbolize innocence and purity. This stems from the old Celtic legend. In Norse mythology, daisies is Freya's sacred flower. Freya is the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. And as such, the daisy came by to symbolize childbirth, motherhood, and new beginnings. So for some of you, there could be new beginnings. If any of you have been wanting to have a baby, this could be a sign that you're going to experience motherhood this year, which is very beautiful. That's very exciting. Congratulations. Now, if you're like, I don't want a baby, or I'm really young, or any of that, this can also symbolize, again, like, you know, flowers blooming in the sense of like, you know, the seeds that you planted, like you're going to see some fruit, bear fruit. Again, with that money, it's going to be like, make it rain type of thing is kind of what I feel.
Yes, I definitely agree. There's a song from Rent that just popped in my head. That's why it took me a second to like reply to that. But I can't think of what it's called. Basically, there's this part where Mimi is singing and she says, your heart can freeze or it can burn. Something about the pain will ease and I can learn. But I don't remember what the song's called right now. But it's in my head. If Rent is a musical that you like, or if you've never seen Rent, you should watch it. It's a great musical. It's about resilience, basically, and love.
It's called
Okay.
Another Day.
Another Day. That's right. Thank you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, first house with Neptune, but this time it's with Leo. So there's a lot of transformation about yourself and how you view yourself and how you express yourself. So I feel like, again, this is expressing yourself and expressing the things that are deep inside. Also, you might have some placements in your 12th house or in your 5th house that are really, really important, or even in your first house. Your ascendant could be very, very important this year. You might have a Leo ascendant, or you might have a Pisces ascendant, or you could just have an Aries ascendant since the first house has come out twice. You could have a Neptune or a Sun in your first house as well. It just kind of depends. But regardless, I feel like there's a lot about yourself and about your beliefs and how you express yourself outwardly that's changing this year, but in a good way. I feel like it's going to allow you to really open up and feel free and to really be yourself and to really just kind of like experience all of this new stuff that you've never experienced before. And it may even be like you're experiencing what it's like to be fully capable, to be creative, and to be free. So it may be that you're breaking free from all of these like things that have felt like they've kept you shackled for a long time, because you're going into this energy of creativity and of joy and of excitement and optimism, and like even I would say like romance, again, like Laina mentioned, children. Like there's a lot of things about experiencing things for the first time and about feeling confident and about putting yourself out there and putting your gifts out there and really using your creativity to help you move forward.
Something I want to mention too is that Leo energy has been in like every single pile so far. And so there's really something about Leo energy, I think, for everyone's like upcoming year. I guess We'd have to look into astrology to see if there are any big Leo transits or anything like that coming in the next year, because that would be, or I mean, like, if you're watching this when we post it, I mean, because if you're watching this like way later, don't worry, it still applies, but just specifically because it's been in every single pile, I wonder if like the year like coming into 2022 has some like big Leo energy that's coming in, because I've seen it in every single pile, and it makes me think of like, because Leo reminds me of like, you know, like regal stuff. I almost feel like, I think that's why I kind of feel like this sense of like big changes and like that like fifth house energy of like creativity and play, and like we might see a big burst in like creativity for people, and like lots of beautiful art, and like maybe great movies and things like that that start coming out, great music. I don't know, it's just kind of a vibe that I'm picking up. A very fun vibe is what it feels like, which is awesome.
Yeah, so Leo is actually ruled by the sun, which this is all about your solar return. So that could also be why Leo's coming out a lot, because we're talking about the sun, and the sun rules over Leo. So that's also a possibility too. It could be that July and August of the year of this birth year for you is important. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot about like creativity and using your creativity, a lot of new romance, a lot of new energy that's coming in, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go ahead.
Heard, from the Lion King, and I just can't wait to be king.
Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle out a couple of these lyric cards for you guys, to see if they'll give us any more like confirmation or any idea of anything else that might be coming in. And then we'll get into your oracles. So let's see what wants to come out for you. If anything, I know the last group one flew out right away, but you know, we made it so that none of the groups got the same ones. So they might be a little picky. Oh, there they are. Okay.
They're just taking their time.
Yes. Okay, so the first one, oh, cute. We make it love wheel, a dream to fill one by one. It's so beautiful, like the universe, a planet that has wandered alone. I'm connecting to you into a dazzling love wheel, which is love wheel.
Love wheel. It's such a good song.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one,
love wheel,
is very long. Oh, I had a really hard time not putting this entire song on here. This is Butterfly Effect. It says, towards that beautiful light, I climb up higher. Fly high towards the dream that I've always drawn. My wings spread out more, butterfly. Facing the limit, I fly up. When I look back, it's so high here. I'm running endlessly towards the lights at the end. I've been waiting and dreaming of them. Things unfold right in front of my eyes. In the beauty of dreams, I found myself again.
Yes. Do you believe in magic?
Yes.
In the young girl's heart. That's basically what I get from these. It's like spirits,
yes.
like your magic's coming in, and now you just gotta believe in it.
Yes, so magic is coming, but one thing I wanted to point out is it says I found myself again, which I just talked about how you got 2 times in a row, you got the first house, and about how that has to do with the self. And so for you guys, and Leo has to do with the self as well, because it's ruled by the sun, and the sun is all about the self. So I feel like for you guys, it's very important to note that this year you're going to be feeling like you are yourself, like you are whole, like you are who you are. And it's not like I don't even know how to explain the feeling that I have, but basically it's like this feeling of just total understanding and having total confidence in yourself. And like, yes, you're going to have bad days too. Like everybody has good and bad days. That's just part of life. It's, you know, life isn't linear. Healing isn't linear. You know, things go up and down. But I feel like for the most part, you're coming to this place where even on the bad days, you're feeling more confident and you're feeling more able to take care of yourself and give yourself the love and the patience and the grace that you deserve. And I think that's really, really exciting because you got Love Wheel too, which is all about love. So, you know, that's super soft.
Agreed. Cries about Love Wheel. I love that song.
Yes, Love Wheel and Butterfly Effect. They do also have a song called Butterfly that's really good, but this one is Butterfly Effect. And honestly, go listen to that whole song because it's beautiful.
That song is definitely about spiritual growth and transformation and about getting everything that you want out of it. Just saying, it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. There's
I
no
refuse
other way.
any other meaning.
Okay. I'm going to shuffle out some. Ooh, okay. All right. They threw that. Okay. 10th house, the world.
Yeah. What were we talking about in the beginning with you? The ivy growing, those $100 bills, Saturn. Bekah talked about how that could be a big career placement.
Void of course, moon, missing.
You're coming back to yourself after a long time of not feeling like yourself. That's definitely what that is about. Which Bekah said, you got the first house twice, so the self. So like if you've been in your Saturn return, I think a lot of people during their Saturn return, I was just about to say they feel out of their mind. So, but I'm hearing the Mr. Brightside now. I'm coming out of my head and I'm doing just fine.
Like jam.
Yeah, like
but
that's been you. Oh yeah. You're getting out of your head and going more into your feelings. And because of that, you're coming back into yourself. So like you felt very, I think, void of course for a while, like a lost little soul wandering, like I don't know where I belong, I don't know where I go, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life, like, and you're just like, but they're saying all of that is changing. Like everything about that is like boom, like the fairy godmother's coming around and she's like, you've done all the things, so here I bring you your presents, like here's your bippity boppity boop, here's all your stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot about finances in this, at least in these oracle cards. Oh yes. And then at the bottom of the deck you have the 4th house of Cancer, which is roots.
Yes.
Oh, holy moly. Okay. Oh, holy crab.
Oh, holy crab, which is hilarious because of the Cancer card that was at the bottom of the deck.
So yes, you are definitely coming back to yourself. And in doing so, you're going to be coming to a place. I mean, you're just fully transforming. Like, I don't think it's bad. I think it's something you've been working on for a long time, from what I'm gathering, because this feels like energy of things coming to fruition, but it also feels very grounded. You have the 2nd house and Taurus, which are the same energy, but that's all about like earthy, practical, productive, blooming, but it's about like your possessions, your assets, what you value. And I feel like you're valuing yourself. And so all of the things that you valued in the past have been changing. And in doing so, you're bringing yourself back to who you truly are. And I feel like it's part of your journey to share this with the world, which is why you got the world. But your 10th house is all about your career. It's about business. It's about, that's based, I mean, reputation. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be solidifying a foundation in your career, in your business life, but also in your mind. So I feel like because you're coming back to yourself and because you're totally understanding who you are on a different level because of all this transformation, it's allowing you to bring in, yes, the money, but because you're doing something that you love to do and that's worthwhile for you, and that you're changing things for yourself in a way that allows you to express them outwardly and to use them for your career, which then is what is bringing stability. It's almost like I'm seeing, like, you know, you got Love Wheel. I'm seeing like a cycle, like a turning cycle, but not a bad cycle. It's like you've gotten onto a new cycle that just keeps getting better. So the more times you go around, like the better things get, is kind of what I'm getting.
Yes. Okay, so bunch of stuff came in when Bekah was talking, but the first thing I want to say is that I thought it was funny because she basically said almost exactly what I wrote down verbatim. So I love when Spirit does that for us. But basically what she said is like, everything that you've learned from being quote unquote lost or missing, you're now supposed to take that information and share it. And by doing this, you're helping others. And that's like something that I think is really important to this group, is wanting to help others. And like that's really going to be something like, it's really going to be something that fills that cup, but you're also going to be able to do it as a career, which is really nice. Like it's going to help you no, my brain, hello brain. Sorry. It's just going to help you, like this transformation that you've undergone is going to help you with like, you know, your money and those things. Like you're just going to be able to use this as a career and develop that like part of yourself. And because of that, like that's part of what's going to make you feel at home, because you're going to get to help people. And I think you'll finally feel like, oh my gosh, so everything that I went through wasn't like a waste. Like I didn't like, because I feel like this group is very hard on themselves. And so you're kind of like, oh, like I've wasted so much time. Like I kind of hear like this thing of like, which excuse my French, but you know how people also like, they'll tell you like, stop dicking around. Like, you know, like you might have had people in your life that were like that constantly like berated you or made you feel bad about what you were doing or not knowing what you wanted. And now you're actually coming into this place where you do know what you want and you do know how to follow your bliss and to make, you know, something out of your life, even if it's like, because I'm looking at that Scorpio card right there where he's a little like avant-garde, you know. And like to me, like that just speaks to like your soul and who you are, and you're definitely different from everybody else. And so like everyone's been like, I don't know where this like person's been. I don't know who you are now. You're so completely different. Like like all this chatter, and it's just like like I don't care, because now I'm authentically me, and like all the stuff, all the burdens, all the things that are put on you, it's completely shedding. And the reason for that is because like you went off, like you didn't go off course in the sense of like, oh, you messed up your path or anything like that. No. You were supposed to do this, but you went off and you explored, and you've been through these hurts and you've been through these trials, and you've learned and you've gained a ton of wisdom. And this could not even just be in this lifetime. This could be in many lifetimes. And now you're, you know, learning about these things. You're finding out the truths of the universe, the truths of the world, and you're ready to share and express and help people with everything that you know. And you're ready to truly, like with that bombshell as well, like be your authentic self, accept your beauty for exactly how it is, even if it's different from what other people know. And I'm not just talking about physical beauty, I'm talking about like even your inner beauty, which is super, super beautiful. And then I also got the lyric, the my reputation precedes me. They've told you I'm crazy. I swear I don't love the drama. It loves me, which is Endgame by Taylor Swift. So again, I feel like you might be finding that person that could be that end game for you, which is super soft, just saying. But like this person is going to like, they're going to know, like, because either you're going to tell them or because they've heard, you know, about you. Maybe you have a little bit of a reputation or whatever for like, I don't know, like, you know, being flaky or being this or whatever it is. Like they're going to, you know, like they don't care. Like it's basically, it's like, I know what my reputation says. I know like what people have said about me before. Like it doesn't matter. All of that stuff goes out the window, because when you're with this person, like they're your end game, you are their end game. And it's just like you understand each other, and it's like, yes, I have a reputation, but like whatever, who cares? And like like I said, like you're just really like, you're just going to be so authentically yourself that none of this BS from the past is going to even matter. And that's just such a great energy. I think everyone wants to be there. Like you're just like, it's going to be like, ooh, who is she? Because you don't know who like you are anymore. That's what it's going to feel like.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. We'll get into the rest of your oracles to see what else they have to say. One thing I wanted to mention is that with this group, I think there is right now, currently, how you're feeling when you're watching this is like, you might feel a little foggy is kind of what I'm getting. Now, of course, when we're filming this, it's Mercury retrograde, where we're at right now, but you even got the Mercury mind card. So for me, like, if you're feeling a little foggy right now, remember to take the time to rest when you need to rest, to eat enough, to get enough sleep, to drink enough water. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself right now. especially when things feel foggy. It might just be that you're going through like an energetic upgrade. It could be that you are currently in a transitional period. And usually, I actually heard Kino say this. We've mentioned her. I don't know if it was in this pile or a different one, but Kino basically mentioned that when you're going through, I think it was Kino, maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. It was either Kino or maybe Crystal Girl, Vicky, maybe. But one of them mentioned how sometimes when you go through a time period where things are ending, and you are starting to go into like a new beginning, or like you're getting to the end of like, let's say you're getting to the end of a month and starting a new month, like there is this energy that happens when that happens where you have to take a rest right before things change. So it's almost like you get a rest period right before you're accelerated into something new, or you get a new energy or something like that. So if you're feeling kind of foggy, you're feeling kind of tired, whatever that may be, just know that if you take the time to care for yourself, you'll avoid burnout. And also, like, it may mean that you're right on the precipice, which makes me think of another Taylor Swift song, the Rabbit Hole song. What's that song called? Long story short.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. But anyways, you're right on the precipice of something new. So, don't get too discouraged and know that it's going to get better from here. That's kind of the message I think they were trying to get through. Your guides are very chatty, but yes, it's very hard because there is like this foggy feeling. Yeah, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. So like I said, if you're feeling kind of like disheartened or like sad, yeah, bottom of the deck, show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius.
Yes. One thing I want to say too about that song that Bekah just mentioned, the long story short, that song is perfect for what I literally just talked about, because she says, and I fell from the pedestal right down the rabbit hole. Long story short, it was a bad time. Pushed from the precipice, clung to the nearest lips. Long story short, it was the wrong guy. But then she goes into like, now I'm all about you. I'm all about you. Like, so it's about like how you've gone through all these trials and these things, and you're like, and it's been a time, man. Like, it's not necessarily been fun, but because of this, like, you're now like you're going to be finding, like this peace, and like you're actually ready for this, which is hilarious because it's another Taylor Swift song. But that's but anyway, so if you don't know Taylor Swift, look up those songs. But really, like, I think that like you guys are ready for this, and you're coming into this place where you are like I said, you're picking yourself up from like this situation and growing. Yes, cracked open, basically, yes.
The bottom of the deck was water your garden, by the way. So again, you guys might resonate with earth energy. Oh, soft. You are stardust.
That's super soft since your pile topper was stardust. Just saying.
Okay, get some more cards here. Okay, that's way too many. Also, I think I said already that we're live shuffling because that's how we like to do it, because I like not having the cards first. Okay, third house. I think this is also the house. I wanted to mention that this also has to do with social media before I read this, but it's Gemini and Mercury. There's a lot of Mercury energy in here, so you might have a lot of Mercury placements in your chart. You might have a lot of either Virgo or Gemini, or third house or sixth house placements. Or you just need to look and see where your Mercury placement is. This is the house of the mind and ideas. Here is where we see the concrete thinking, thoughts, communication, mental agility, and the capacity to relate to the most immediate and daily social environment, like siblings or neighbors. It's also about how you learn. I remember that, and social media, so keep those in mind. Yes. Aries, Mars, and Scorpio. So willpower, desire, fortitude, and rage. And then the bottom of the deck, just to show you, is Cancer Moon.
Oh.
Emotions, instincts, receptivity, and safety. And then we'll get your fixed stars.
So from this already, while she's shuffling those, basically, I think Spirit needs you to remember with that Stardust card that you are magical and you were cracked open for a reason. And even though it sucked, you need to release all of this stuff. You know, you have been releasing it, which is great. And I think you're starting to become lighter and like the next version of yourself. And again, with like that Gemini Mercury energy, like you have a lot of wisdom that you can teach others. And you're also super passionate about this too. And that's just like chef's kiss, basically, is kind of what I'm picking up from this already.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This flew out. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to take bottom of the deck on this one too. Okay, so the first one that flew out was Aries. It's second house, Saturn, and Mercury. We actually had this in the last group too. Albutane, which is reconciliation and serenity. In order to be approached by others, you first must encounter your anger, which goes right with this Mars card. Mm-hmm. The other one that came out was Pisces, which of course we know is 12th house, which is this is both Venus. This is not the same one that came out in the last pile, but it's interesting to me that we have a Venus card that came out. But anyways, Pisces and Venus, harvest and culmination. It says keep faith in the journey, for one day you will look back just to realize how content you are. Mm-hmm. And then I have to take the bottom of the deck because it is Capella, which is confidence and acceptance. This is Gemini energy, Mercury and Mars. And it is confidence is earned by looking at yourself without any filter and without judgment.
Yes, I love that card. Mm-hmm. First thing I want to say real quick before I let Bekah go for this is that I talked about this a little bit in the last pile. So if you came from the last pile, sorry, you're going to hear the spiel again. But with the anger, there's a lot of us carry anger because, a lot of us have lived in a society where we have repressed anger that we haven't been able to express. And anger is really a neutral emotion. And it can be used for good or bad. So your anger could actually be used to fuel your passion, which is great if you know how to do that. But also you might need to release that anger. And there's so many ways you can do it. Like there's dancing, you can do breath work, you can do yoga, you can do meditations. Meditation's really great to help with anger. You can do journaling, you can do whatever, boxing, whatever it is that's going to help you like push that anger that's in there out. Like I was talking about this in the last pile. Sometimes I lay on my bed and I'll just like, punch and kick and scream the pillows and be like, just to like let it out because, I don't have another way sometimes. I'm like, hey, like if that's what works, then that's what works. I'm like, you should go for it. But basically, don't be afraid of that anger because usually under anger, there's hurt. And so like you need to kind of let that anger out so you can address that hurt and maybe even comfort yourself or your inner child. Like you might even do some of these meditations, these things, and you might start bawling and like, it's okay. Like let that emotion out because it can be trapped in the body and it might need to come out. So don't be afraid of it, basically.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that. As someone who has a lot of Aries placements, I would say that Aries definitely has temper. So if you resonate with that, because Aries came out multiple times now, then I definitely say that is some of the best advice that you can have is that you need to find a healthy outlet for that temper and for that anger and for any of those wounds that might still be in there. And again, if you're releasing negativity, Mars also traditionally ruled over Scorpio back before Pluto did. So Scorpio has some Mars energy as well. And you did get a lot of Scorpio in your reading. And again, that's very much like dealing with those things that maybe, Scorpions kind of have that like sting that they give. So it might just be that there are a couple things that make you really angry and you just kind of have to find time to breathe through those things. But basically, you've been cracked open and you've been going through this time period where you're learning how to let go of a lot of anger and a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of projections and wounds and things from your childhood, especially. But you're coming into a time of confidence and of acceptance and harvest and excitement. And I think Spirit wants you to know that it's okay. Like things are going to be okay. You did all of this for a reason. None of it was in vain. And you are Stardust. You're literally creating your universe right now. And Spirit's bringing that to you. And you're cracked open so that you had the space to accept all of these things into your life. And then once you can accept them, you can also share them. And so all of these things that are coming to you, you now have the space, and you've been releasing the negativity and releasing all of the old wounds and patterns and all of that stuff so that you can take in all of this stuff that Spirit is giving you so that you can be raised up into that high vibration and really experience life and be happy with life and to be who you are and to actually feel comfortable in your own skin and comfortable with who you are in a way that allows you to express and to help others and to, you know, just kind of live, just to be alive and be happy about being alive. Like that's Spirit literally just wants you to be happy with being alive right here, right now. Like just you are living if you are happy with being alive. Like, and that's like the only way I can explain it. It's kind of like when you experience something and it just makes you feel so complete and whole and content within yourself. For me, for example, one thing that for me that really works, I love to travel, right? And so when I go through the mountains, and I think I've used this example with Laina before, but there's this feeling that you get sometimes. And so for me, for instance, like it's that feeling of grabbing a cup of coffee in a cabin and going and sitting out on the porch in the middle of the forest in a mountain where it's quiet and just sitting there with like a blanket and like really chilly morning weather. Like that for me, that's living. Like in that moment in time, that's being alive. And Spirit wants you to feel that way all the time. They want you to feel that way. So I feel like for you, you're coming into this point where you are starting to feel that way a lot more often. And it's allowing you to be in that higher vibration and allowing you to share that energy with other people.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's so beautiful.
Yes, it really is. This is a very soft pile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to take these. We're going to do your tarot cards. So let's see what else they have to say. And then we'll get to your present, which I'm very excited to see what's in there because I actually don't remember at all what's in there. Which my cat just laid down on all of my cards, so it's good times for me. Excuse
Good
me,
luck
sir.
to pile forward then.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to move him. Okay. Okay, tarot cards. No. All right. Guess I'll shuffle them where you can see them. Yep. Okay. 10 of Swords. Okay. 8 of Cups. Moving away from that energy.
Yes, I love it. That's exactly what I was going to say. You're totally moving away from that 10 of Swords.
We have, oh yeah, moving away from the 3 of Swords.
Okay. You guys are totally going to have more than 4 tarot cards. I can already feel it.
We'll see. They're being very picky, actually. Okay. Okay. make sure that's right. 5 of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Pentacles.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. And then the bottom of the deck is the Magician.
Okay. So basically, what Spirit just did is they, I love Spirit, but you might not at this moment. They basically, to me, laid out all your wounds in one in one spread. But then they said, but because of that, here's all your crap that you want. Because with the 10 of Swords, that can be about like you're just so weighed down, like all your burdens, and the 8 of Cups, like you're leaving those things behind, yes. But they're also talking about like that fight with the 5 of Pentacles. Like, you know, we had a lot about how stability and money values were important to this group. And they're talking about like how you've come out of that scarcity mindset, how you've gotten through all the heartbreaks, all the letdowns, all the things. And like I said, they're kind of putting your wounds on display to you, but I don't think they're doing it to be mean. I think they're doing it to show you your progress. So that's why I say, like, here after that, you have the Ace of Pentacles is how you end, and then you have the Magician under the deck. So basically they're saying, like, they've heard you and you have all the tools now to make that, you know, that they're going to, basically it's like you have all the tools and they're presenting the offer. And that's going to, like, come together. And then again, like I said, like that chef's kiss. Like, they're asking you to cut the deck in half.
Oh, okay. Let me... Okay, I'm like, where's my deck? It's on the table. Okay. Put it right there. Oh, okay. Something just fell out. I don't know if that's right. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Do you want me to shuffle first?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, no. Really? You guys are turds. I'm just gonna say Laina was right. They really wanted to talk to you through tarot.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna let them do it because I'm not gonna argue. King of Keys, so King of Swords with the Queen of Swords. The Prince of Pentacles. So that's the Knight of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles.
I knew it. I was like, the 10 of Pentacles wants to come out.
Strength. And then the bottom of the deck is the Emperor.
Yes. So basically, like I said, what they wanted to show you again was that, like I said, it's going to meet the opportunity, and then this is what you're getting. You're getting stability, you're getting counterparts of some sort. So this could be your inner counterparts, like of yourself, like finally meeting and matching, because you had so much about the mind. Swords are the mind, like, you know, it's thought. So again, like your learning levels, like, you know, you could be meeting someone who meets you like-minded, which is really good. 10 of Pentacles, foundation, money, you've got all the strength because of this, like you're gonna grow stronger, like there's just so much. And then like with the Emperor, again, that's Aries energy. So if you have an Aries placement, it's gonna be very prominent and helpful for you. Just whoa. That's all I got for this.
Yeah, that's a lot. But yes, basically you're coming out of this time of feeling heartbroken, of feeling worn down, of even potentially feeling depressed and left out in the cold, and like nobody cares, and like I'm just living this life and I'm just here, and like I'm just gonna make a living and show up and do my thing that I was taught to do when I was little. Like I'm just doing the things. You're coming out of all of that and into this space of feeling balanced and of feeling grounded, of feeling stable, of having, you know, your money, and of having your peoples, like your soul family, your soul tribe, your actual family potentially. You could be, you know, obviously with me, the Emperor, this is like divine masculine. So if you are a feminine or you associate yourself, you know, as such, or, you know, you don't even have to be. Basically, this is a counterpart. But for a lot of you, you know, you're going to be meeting a person that sees you for who you truly are and sees all of the things that you've gone through and wants to create a family and wants to create stability and is on the same level as you. And that's very, very beautiful. And one thing I want to mention is about this strength card. This looks like the rose from Beauty and the Beast that's in the little cage. And for that, like, it's almost like in Beauty and the Beast, the rose loses petals over time. And if he doesn't find the love of his life by the time the last petal falls, then he will remain a beast forever. And I feel like because you guys have this strength and because you have this beautiful, like, you have the infinity sign at the top and you have all this about counterparts, like, you are finding your person, and it might feel like the last petal's about to drop and you're like, okay, yeah, like, like, regardless of age or whatever you've been through, it's finally time. Like, in this instance, it's time. Like, it's time, and you're going to be going through all of this new, beautiful, like, beginning with this opportunity. And I think it's just going to snowball from there. And it's very beautiful.
Yes, agreed.
I'm gonna move.
I truly teared up a little bit over here. That might be how you're feeling. I might be feeling your emotions from this group, and you might be feeling like, oh, like, that sounds like a dream. And it's like, just truly believe that it's coming for you.
Yes. The song that just popped into my head is the Once Upon a Dream. Oh my gosh,
Is that the Four of Wands?
Sure is.
I knew it. I knew they wanted you to cut the deck somewhere.
Yep, Four of Wands. That's a Venus. It's a Venus card, but also Aries. It's all about celebration, potentially marriage, foundation, home. Very soft. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. My cat is like right in my lap right now, I swear. Okay, so we're gonna open your present. Maybe this will be a little more lighthearted, although maybe you needed that cry.
Yeah.
Maybe you needed that moment. Okay, I have no idea what's in here.
Okay. I see a ring.
Yep, I do see that. There you go.
2 keys. You might be getting a ring put on it.
Might be having a ring happen. Yes. Yep, I see 2 keys. So doors unlocking, and this one has a rose on it. What did we just talk about? So again, like, doors unlocking and opening, and potentially even to love. So it's like one key to maybe like your finances and stability, and one to your love life. They go hand in hand.
Oh, look at the little heart eye happy face. So cute. Yes. You're going to be booed up. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you have an R, so that could be an initial. It could be a place. It could be a name of your person. It could be your name. It could be a last name. It could be anything.
I heard Rome.
Ooh, Rome, if you want to. You have a Q. The name Quentin came through.
I got quesadilla for that one, so maybe
quesadilla.
Maybe you need a snack.
Maybe you need to eat more. Okay, you got Virgo, which is practical.
You guys have lots of Earth energy, so that makes sense.
Maybe you're a Virgo, maybe your person's a Virgo. Oh, that's really soft. You have found.
Oh.
And the song,
that song, the I Found by Amber.
Yeah, I was gonna say the I Found by Amber Run. Cool, we have the same song for once. There's Create. So again, we talked about creativity a lot in this file. A little black cat. So if you like cats, maybe cats are your spirit animal, or maybe you associate yourself with cats in some way, or maybe you're getting a new cat, or you already have a cat that you love very much.
It's like, better not be for you.
Yeah, I know. No more cats for me, just him. You have a crown.
Dang it, I should have said it. I was going to say, I heard queen after that for the Q.
Yes. There's a song that says something about, like, you better treat me like a queen.
It's the Meghan Trainor song. It's the Dear Future Husband.
No, that's not it. It's like, it's literally, I think it's called Queen, but it's by a girl, and she talks about treat me like a queen, say yes, your majesty, but I don't remember what it's called.
Let me see.
You have explore. Maybe you're going to travel a little bit, or maybe that's just exploring your inner depths, exploring around you, maybe going on adventures in your hometown or where you're at, finding new places.
It's by Lauren Gray.
Yes, that one. You have, my cat just knocked something over. It's fine. You have ice cream. So sweet things are on their way. Popcorn.
Abundance.
Also creativity. Oh, cute. Darling, you are a work of art.
Oh, soft.
This is really soft. Shine on.
Ooh, I love that song by the Kooks. If you haven't heard that song,
yeah,
chef's kiss of the song. It's really soft.
Peach.
Peach.
Makes me think of Peaches by Justin Bieber.
Peaches in Georgia.
Yes. Good vibes.
Yes, so much positivity is coming for this group. It's kind of unreal.
Public transport. So maybe you're going to be going on a bus, or maybe you're going to be flying or going on a trip.
Traveling. Road trip, perhaps.
A hot dog.
Yeah, you guys have some nummies you need to eat.
You are magical.
Oh, so.
And oh, I saved the best for last unintentionally.
Oh. Cute.
Yes, very cute. So some romance. Again, you have a lot of positivity, a lot of romance, a lot of like sweetness and good vibes and exploring.
Romance.
It's very soft. This pile is too soft for me.
Yeah, okay. It's very soft.
Anyways, hopefully that resonated for you, and we're very excited for your year. It sounds like it's going to be really great. Leave us a comment if you get engaged or meet your person or have some crazy breakthrough, or whatever it may be. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you feel called to, leave us a like, hit subscribe. You can check us out on all of our other social medias, which are all linked in the description box below. I usually go through them, but I'm not going to this time. But you can go through, they're all listed down there. You can watch another pile if you were drawn to any other piles. But we want to thank your guides and our guides, mine and Laina's, for the messages and for allowing us to read for you today. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you have a great birthday and a great year and really enjoy everything. And I hope it's not a year until we hear from you again or until you watch us, but hopefully you have a great birthday. And we hope to see you in our next video.
Eat lots of cake or ice cream or whatever you want for your birthday. Eat something delicious and take care. Love you very much, our galaxies. Bye-bye.
Oh, and one more thing. The song Darling by Halsey just came through because of this sticker. So go listen to that. Her new album's great. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
If you picked pile 4, then you picked Rocky. So here he is. And his quote is, "Without hesitation, I'll look into your eyes, and it's moonlight brightens up my path. The stars in the beautiful night sky. They'll be smiling towards us. I'll light your way." And that's from the song Starry Sky. This is all about your solar return. So if you didn't get the lowdown in the intro or in one of the other piles already, basically the solar return is just your birthday. It's just a fancy terminology in astrology for your birthday. And basically what it means is that the sun is at the same position that it was in your birth chart as the time and date in location that you were born. So that basically is your birthday. And this reading is going to tell us all about what to expect for your birthday. Maybe some presents that you're going to get from the universe, or maybe from other people. Could be some changes that are happening in your life, or maybe even the energy. Your birthday doesn't have to be today. It can be any time. This is a timeless reading. So whenever you're watching this, if it's not your birthday right now and you found this, it could be about a birthday that's in a few months, or it could be about a birthday that just passed. So for example, My birthday was in September. And so for me, if I were to pick this pile, the information in this pile would be all about what's going to happen for me this year as of my birthday until next year on my birthday. And for Laina, since her birthday is in October, and at the time we're filming this, it's not October yet, but it almost is. Her reading would be about what's going to happen for her from her birthday in October to the October of next year. So just take it, as it resonates, and it'll either be about the current year or the birthday that's coming up. But we're doing things a little different today. We did say we were going to do channeled messages, but it's actually going to be throughout the reading. We're going to do things differently in the sense that we're doing Astro Dice first, and then we also have some lyric cards that we're going to go through. And everybody got different lyrics, so nobody got two of the same. And then at the end, after our Oracle and Tarot cards, we have this beautiful little gift of what you're going to get for your birth year this year. Very exciting. So we're going to get right into it. And I'm sure Laina probably has a message or two for you.
Yes. So first thing that came through right away was I saw like ocean waves. So, but specifically somebody surfing them. So for me, that could be great news for you because like I didn't see them wiping out. So I feel like, you might be able to ride the waves of like what's going to come throughout the year. Obviously with anything, there's, highs and lows because nothing can be perfect. But for me, I was seeing like big waves and like you being able to kind of like maneuver them. So I feel like there might be a lot of changes, but in a good way, like because you're able to stay like on your little surfboard and like, yeah, woohoo! Like that's kind of the vibe I was getting. So it feels very positive. And then I also saw fresh winter snow. So this makes me think that like this winter season or the winter season of the year, the solar return year, could be, so like for example, we just said Bekah's birthday's in September, mine's in October. So like for us, winter is not that far away from our birthdays. So like that could be in a couple months. There could be something magical coming for you. Like if you're born in, March, like you have a little bit of ways to go, like as far as to get to the winter part from your solar return, but it could be a magical time. Also makes me think new beginnings, just because like fresh snow makes me think of like white. The purity is really nice. And then I also saw someone like rocking a baby. So like a little swaddled up baby. So for me, this could be about like inner safety and peace, like you rocking and taking care of like your inner child and like finding that inner safety and peace and like everything feels good. But it also could be about like if you've been wanting a baby or trying for a baby, you might actually be able to have that little bundle of joy come into your life, which is very cute.
Mm-hmm. Very cute. That's very soft. Okay. I'm going to roll your Astro Dice, and this is going to tell us maybe some places in your chart that we can expect some changes, maybe some confirmation on astrological signs or houses for you. So we have Virgo, fifth house, and that changed to Jupiter. I'm going to roll that one again. Nope, still Jupiter. Okay.
All right then.
Okay, so Virgo, fifth house, and Jupiter. So this is Virgo energy, Leo energy, and Sagittarius energy. So for me, basically what this is talking about is a new routine when it comes to yourself, your creativity, how you view yourself. I feel like you're going to have a lot of luck with a new routine. I don't know what kind of routine that is, but it's some sort of self-care routine is what I'm picking up on. So you're changing certain things this year about how you take care of yourself. And I think it's more so that you're listening to yourself and you're listening to what's right for you, what you need, what you want. And you're doing those things and making those changes. And that's bringing in a lot of luck and you're having a lot of success with that. And that brings expansion into play, which is really exciting. One other thing is you might be traveling a lot and you might be finding a love of either travel or you might be learning something new and that's teaching you something that you really, really, really are passionate about. And it could be a creative thing as well with the fifth house showing up. And then as far as like Virgo, that's also, health and routine and then of service to others. So sorry, with that, you have potentially some creativity and some energy around giving more time to things that not only serve yourself, but to serve others. And that could be even like learning about other cultures and then like teaching people things or sharing things with other cultures, or just learning about other cultures and implementing those things into your life, or learning new things about spirituality or higher learning and implementing those into your daily routine. And that's allowing you to change things, which is then allowing you to share things with other people. That's really the vibe that I'm picking up from that role.
I agree. The other thing I want to say is that because the fifth house has to do with dating, and then we have expansion, and then Virgos, because they're Mercury ruled, always make me think of learning. So for some of you, like, if you haven't dated a lot before, you might actually get a small, like, this is different because in the first group we had like dating energy, yes, but it was definitely way more like intense. And this is definitely more like, to me, like maybe like I almost feel like it might be like a flirtation with dating, in the sense of like, you might start noticing that the more that you change and like get into that routine, that like you start getting more compliments from other people. Like you might get someone that asks for your number and like things like that. So it's almost like, because I almost feel like it's this like with, just because I don't know, just like Virgo is the hermit, so it makes me think like you're kind of coming out of your shell, and like because which like, and because of that, like your energy is able to shine through. And so with that, like when you're out of that shell, like you're going to start to notice little things like that, like someone might buy your coffee for you, someone might hold smile at you in a certain way, and it's just going to kind of like build that confidence a little bit. So following this routine and like letting that kind of expand for you, I think is really important. And it's just those little things that I think are going to help to like build your confidence. So even if you have dated before, like maybe it's been a while, or like your confidence has been in the dumps, like I just feel like there's this little thing about like dating and fun and like that lighthearted like Leo energy, and I don't know, just something about that is really like standing out to me. So that might be something for some of you that is a possibility.
Yes. So we'll roll one more time, see if there's anything else. Okay, we have fourth house, which is Cancer vibes, with Pisces and Mercury. So for me, this is all about communicating how you feel and about your like inner depths as far as maybe some childhood wounds, maybe things around like the feminine side of life, nurturing yourself, nurturing those wounds, nurturing like the innermost parts of you. Also about like communicating your faith, communicating in ways that are more creative about how you truly feel. It could also be about your family. So it could be relating to your family, because the fourth house is all about home and family. So it could be with Pisces, which is a very creative energy, a very like hidden depths energy. It's about like those things that might come to the surface that you don't necessarily want everybody else to know, but I feel like you're being encouraged to open up more this year, and I feel like that's going to bring you a lot more stability, and a lot more of a stronger foundation. And you might find that you even find a new family or a new group of people this year that make you feel at home and make you feel comfortable enough that you can share those things with them, and allows you to really open up. And then expressing those things, it's kind of like I'm getting like the it's funny because the last group had the song The Butterfly Effect, but I'm actually getting the butterfly effect, like the scientific term, which is basically like all it takes is like the flutter of the wings of a butterfly, and like it could change the course of forever. Like it's kind of one of those things where like you touch one person's life and then they touch somebody else's and they touch somebody, and it like goes on and on and on like that. It's also called like the 6th degree of separation or the 7th degree of separation or something like that. But basically, you're going through that, and the more people that you can share this with, the more you'll find that confidence and that comfort, and that'll bring you more and more and more stability, and you'll finally feel like you have a place that's safe for you.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree with that. So something that I want to kind of mention with this is like with whenever I see Pisces in the fourth house, I always think of family secrets. And with Mercury, I feel like this can be a couple different things. So for some of you, this could be that like you find out some type of family secret, but again, I don't feel like it's negative or heavy. It could be like something really good. Like you could potentially find out, like, I don't know, like just say that you find out that there was an ancestor that you had who left you some money and you're just like, what? Like, where did that come from? And then it's like, it gets communicated to you that you have an ancestor that passed away, like, you know, and they've left you some money, like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Now, you know, like that helps you out in a bind. But I also get the sense of like, this could be about you communicating about things in your family that, you know, were not necessarily great or right. And like, this could be you're communicating it to a therapist, you're communicating it to friends, you're communicating it out to the world so that other people can feel heard and validated. Maybe you're shedding light because Pisces is all about the hidden. So you're going to shed light about, you know, toxic families. And, you know, there's so many things like on TikTok, on YouTube, where people they're speaking out now about toxic families and about how they're not good. And even though, like, yes, that's a little bit painful to do, I think there's some catharsis in that for you. And like, that could be like really, really nice, is that you know, are able to share that and to help other people through that.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that. That's your dice. Okay, so we're gonna do some lyrics. Everybody got different songs, but you're gonna get 2 of them. I made sure that there were enough songs, because honestly, like, Astro has such a good compendium of songs, and like they're also soft. There's only a few that are sad songs, so
Yes.
most of them are pretty happy, soft songs. Okay. That one wants to come out. Okay. I have no idea what's on these cards because I don't remember. Let's see. Okay, for this one. Oh, nice. Okay. Like the clear sky after rain, sunshine on my face, like in a movie, the whispering voice of an angel. I wonder if that's what it's like, love. It's a happiness that can't come again. I think I like this feeling. The song is Alive by Astro. Well, obviously
That's
they're all
so soft, because I talked about how some people might not have a lot of experience with dating and they might dabble in it. That's cute.
That's actually their newest single. So if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Okay, this is, oh, nice. I'm going to find you, knock, 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 open the door I always dreamed of, take you up, up, up there to a brightly shining world. Leave it to me, leave it to you, take you back in time, go find me, knock, 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 to a whole new world where every day shines. It's from Knock, which is the theme of the reading.
So cute.
So, yes, super cute. So basically you can expect Spirit to be knocking on your door and to be handing you a lot of stuff. It's kind of what I'm getting from that. It's going to be a feeling. I think the biggest thing that I'm picking up on this is that you're going to be feeling true happiness. Like you're going to be feeling lightweight. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Like it's going to be like a whole new world from what you knew in the past. And it's going to be a year where you feel very free and very light. Is kind of what I'm picking up on.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very soft.
Super soft.
Oh, I'm taking some confetti with me. Okay. If nobody knows, I love confetti because I like sparkles and glitter and shiny things. But confetti is a pain in the behind to clean up. Just saying.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to get into your oracle cards. We have Saturn return, age. Which is funny because age, I mean, it's your birthday, so.
Yep.
And then you have, yeah, 5th house, creativity. Leo came out in this one too.
Yep, Leo has been strunk in every pile.
Yeah. Lunar eclipse change. I keep forgetting that I have to move these like all the way up, otherwise you cannot see. Bottom of the deck is air element communicating. Okay. 3 more. Oh, that did not work for me.
Okay, so song that's coming through for me, it's called oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the song. I just had it in my head, but basically I know it's by Maria Mena, but one of the lyrics is like it talks about like
Can't make this up.
for some of you, ooh, the fifth house twice, dang girl. But the lyrics are like, we were never meant to be lovers, we're both just fellow late bloomers who like blossomed apart. And so from this I kind of get that, I don't know, maybe some of you are like nursing a potential heartbreak or someone that like you really wanted to potentially be with or things like that, or there's like a dream, even because we have so much about creativity that like, you know, that you had your heart set on and like it didn't really happen. And so I almost feel like there's some type of change. Or first house has also been strong in all the piles, sorry, I got distracted. But just something like that, like I don't know why, but that song is really coming through. But it's yeah, it's like we were never meant to, yeah, and that song talks about how like these people were late bloomers and how they helped each other like through their like really hard times, and like they realized that now that they're not meant to be in each other's life in the way that they thought. And this could be, again, like we could be with a person and like you're kind of like nursing that and getting through that, which, you know, like that's hard. But it also could be with a dream, like a dream that you had that you really thought it was the thing that was for you, and it, you know, found out that it wasn't, and like it's made you sad, and like there's nothing wrong with that. But I think now like what spirit is saying is like, and especially if you just get out of a Saturn return, I feel like a lot of people go through heartbreak during a Saturn return, like whether that's emotional heartbreak, it's all emotional, that doesn't make sense, like, you know, like with a person, or because like you've, you know, some type being like change, because Saturn comes and makes you learn your lessons. And so like as you're coming out of that, like, you know, you might be like realizing like, spirit's like, yes, now we're going to start changing all these things for the better, and here are all the rewards, you're going to start feeling more creative again, like things are going to start moving. But like you do kind of have to honor, that goes back to that like Pisces that we were talking about, the hidden. So like if you have any like hidden feelings or emotions that you haven't been dealing with because you're like, I don't want to think about that, like it's probably going to come up this year. And the reason is because it needs to be released. And like you can even release it, like it doesn't have to be like all crying and stuff. Like if that, you know, obviously crying is good and very cathartic, and I highly recommend, you know, it's good to be in touch with your emotions like that, you know, it kind of sucks. But you can also channel that through creativity and communication and all these things. So just something to think about.
I definitely agree. I laugh because the bottom of your deck is fourth house again. But yes, I wanted to read this card because I know a lot of people don't know what this is, but the deck is actually called the Numinous. But the Numinous is about mystery. It's the unknown, the unknowable, ESP, psychic abilities, the cosmos, universal truths, oneness, source, the unnameable, shadow work, inner knowing, tingling, ghosts, other worlds, space, enigmas, the occult, and intuition. So, for me, when looking at this, the reason why fifth house Leo energies, the self, that comes out a lot when you're talking about a solar return because it's your birthday. And it's all about you. But a lot of people are having a year that's very, very focused on themselves. But that's because people are going through the healing work so that they can connect as a group of people, which you have gotten a lot about communication. So I feel like you are changing a lot about the way that you view yourself and the views that you have of like what you can create and what your passions are. what romance is for you. Like everything about the
Mhm.
fifth house and about the first house together is talking about like love and self and romance and creativity and expression. Expression is the big thing because with
Mhm.
you, with communication, like it's all about how you change how you not only communicate with others, but how you communicate with yourself and how you communicate with the world around you. And I think, you know, with the numinous showing up, that's all about like spiritual things, right? So it's all about like your spiritual gifts, about intuition, about psychic abilities, things like that. It's about mystery. It's about the things that people don't understand. And I feel like you've used a lot of that and are going to continue using a lot of that. And if you haven't, then you'll start. You're going to be using a lot of those things to help you heal. And if you have already been doing that, then you've been using those things to help you heal. I guarantee you this group is a psychic group. It's a very spiritually based group. And if you're not, then maybe you're going to be potentially.
Yes.
Um, but I feel like you're using a lot of those gifts and you have used a lot of those gifts to heal a lot of traumas and to bring that up about yourself and about how you show yourself love and about how you express yourself and how you open up. And I feel like you're just going to continually learn more and more and more, and it's going to help you feel so confident. It's like I keep getting drawn to the flowers that are on this card. Like it's like you're blooming and opening up, and look at how much fun this card looks. Like, I feel like this year's just gonna be, and I mean, you have like the circus over here too going on and creativity. So, like, I feel like this year is going to be very, very fun, and you're going to be exploring a lot of things that make you feel very excited and make you feel very you, very much yourself. And I feel
Mhm.
like Saturn return, some of you are just entering your Saturn return, which don't get too scared of Saturn return. Like, everybody goes through it every 30 years or so, you go through a return. And your first Saturn return, when you're in the ages of 27 to 30, is basically when you learn about who you are and you let go of all of those patterns and things that other people have put on you so that you can become your true self. That's
Mhm.
what that Saturn return is all about. And as you're doing that, you reap the rewards. Now, of course, if you decide to sit there and say, no, I'm not going to do that, then like you're not going to be rewarded for it. But I feel like with this group, a lot of you have either already done the work or are in the process of doing the work. A lot of you are already in your Saturn return or are going to be coming out of it. And with that, you're gaining so much passion, so much love, and so much inspiration and fun and joy. And I think that's very, very exciting. And I think you're going to be seeing yourself and the world around you in like a completely different way that just makes you feel so connected and loved and passionate about life in general.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. And one thing that I want to add before we move on, because uh, uh, basically, I don't want to talk like too much, but what I want to say is that something that Bekah was talking about, how like you're gonna start really coming into yourself. And I think that there can be like a little bit just getting like slightly personal for me. Like I'm on my own, and I know Bekah is too. We're both on our own journey of like really accepting ourselves authentically for who we really are. And for some of you, I feel like there are things that like you really want to do, but maybe you're afraid. So this could be like you want to take a spontaneous trip, like you know what I mean. And it's like just if you know, again, do this with make sure that you're okay financially. Don't break your bank, but like if you have that little bit of money, just do it. If you have always wanted to dye your hair, pink, then just do it. If you've always wanted to, um, you know, go on this roller coaster but you've been too scared, just do it. Like I you know what I mean. Like there's this video series that I watch, or it's a it was a video that I watched, and it was called um making the outfits like that younger me would have flipped out over. And I was like, that just sounds like so much fun, but it sounds like a really good way to like honor that inner child. And I think of the inner child when I think of the fifth house, probably because it has to do with children as well. And you had a lot about the fourth house, so like maybe that's something that you can do, is like you could create like outfits or something, like something that your inner child would really love. And then I also think just about like doing things for yourself. So like buying that dress that you've been wanting to buy or you've been putting off because you're like, like I don't know if I'd look good in that. Just get it anyway. Like put it on. Like feel good about yourself. Like that's very much the vibe I'm getting from Spirit. Is they're like, just do these things. Don't give it an F about what anyone else thinks.
Yes, just super soft.
Yes.
Yes, taking back your power, I think, is the correct terminology for this group. Okay, so we're gonna get some more oracle cards to kind of see what else Spirit can tell us about this year, this birth year. Happy birth year.
Yes.
I am shuffling live. I haven't been doing this because I'm not sitting super close to my table. Like I haven't been doing it on camera, but I will. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Well, the bottom of your deck is communication is key. New moon in Gemini.
I think you guys need to communicate.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to talk about things. The
So,
song
Paris
Talk
and the-
by Khalid is in my head.
Oh, well, okay. I thought maybe it was just me who randomly just heard it, but Paris in the Rain is not stopping, so I'm just gonna say it now. By Love, is playing, so that's a very soft song. Maybe Paris is one that we talked about traveling. Maybe that's the place you want to go. That could be your sign. Book the tickets. Go. Like, I mean, again, safely, of course.
Yeah, when things are open again. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Okay. Nope, that's I have to find the space for all of these. Hold on. They like this deck. Okay, so you, first of all, you have the Cosmic Heart, which is devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. And then, I don't know if I'm gonna have space for all of this, but I'm gonna try my best. You got 3 of these cards, and we've been giving 1, so don't tell any of the other groups. You got underlying pattern, which I don't know if I'm gonna fit it. You got expand your heart, and then you got childlike play. Okay.
Actually, what I like is that the expand your heart card has that pink from the childlike play, which is kind of layering over the purple of the underlying pattern. So it's almost like, to me, it's kind of like as you expand your heart, that pink is going to expand over those patterns that you used to have, and then like the pattern's going to dissolve. Like that's really how I see that.
I'm gonna move these so that it looks better. Okay. Okay. Your first one is Libra. Okay. All right. Pluto. This deck is this group, they really like oracles. I don't know what to tell you. And then South Node also flew out. Your bottom of the deck is last quarter, which is transition, letting go, forgiveness, and adaptation. Sorry, adaptation. I don't know why I said adaptation. Tired. It's late. Okay. And then we'll get some last cards. Okay. Oh, cute. Okay. Oh, yep. Okay. All right. So for the last cards, you got Vega, which is virtue and proficiency. This is Capricorn. It's also Mercury and Venus. And then it has dance to the rhythm of your spirit, become one with the universe. Because of that childlike play. And you also got Exula, which is birthing and safeguard. Sacred is the divinity contained in your skin. The blood running through your veins is simply a miracle. This is Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, Mars and Mercury. And then the bottom of your deck, I'm going to leave it out, is Alnath, which is Aries energy, Mars and Saturn, and it is roots and foundations. Travel safe, my friend. Get to know the world and explore, but never forget where you came from. So, Spirit's basically giving you a mic drop, and we haven't even done tarot yet.
I know. There's not a ton to say about this because we've already talked about all of it, and it's all really self-explanatory, but this is definitely about you learning to like love yourself, and that whole thing about making your life a moving prayer, bringing love into the situation. So like talking to yourself with more love. I kind of touched on like how I saw those bottom 3 cards already. Like you just have a lot of like, you're taking the lessons again, kind of similar to the last group that you've learned, and you're transforming all of these things, and like it's really paying off. And like the way you're going to help, the way you express it and how you express yourself is going to be helpful not only to you but other people.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely coming into this place of understanding your gifts and lessons in your past lives, things that you've learned, and you're pulling those into where you are now and using them to help you heal and to move forward and to bring in abundance and love and peace, honestly. And you have Pluto and Libra here, so that's Scorpio and Libra energy, 7th and 8th houses. You also have Scorpio, Sagittarius, and then Aries and Capricorn as well. So lots of different signs. But basically, it's exactly what we've been talking about. It's just that you're going to be coming to this place of love for yourself and for your inner child. And you're definitely going through this time of understanding. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So if you guys need to drink more water and or work on your throat chakra, that is definitely a recommendation. But basically, you're realizing that you are special and that you are a miracle just by being who you are, and that you do have good things to share with the planet and with others, and that you're really healing yourself through these things that have happened to you and through your past lives and through, other situations and through your gifts. And that's really beautiful because you're really coming into a place of peace and of happiness and harmony in your own life.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Very, 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 very soft.
Yes. We're going to do tarot. Let's see if they give you as many tarot as they did the last group.
Oh.
This group, though, got a lot of oracle cards, so we'll see.
Yeah, I was like, they might be chill on the tarot then.
Okay, so we already have the Knight of Cups, which is the Prince of Elixirs.
Oh.
Starting out strong. Okay. Oh, that was an accident. My bad. Okay, King of Cups.
Yeah, you guys talking about dating and love. That's so fun that you're practicing.
Getting that offer from that man or woman.
Mm-hmm. Or person, if they're non-binary.
I don't know what way that wants to come out. Interesting. You got the Four of Pentacles.
Okay.
Which is really just about holding on to things. Fours are actually a really good number. It's about stability. That's also the Sun in Capricorn. So that's good energy. Oh yeah. You have the Chariot and Justice. And then the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yes. Oh, that's so soft. And there's some major arcana here, which means this is a major year for you guys.
Yeah.
You have Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, water for both of these. And then one of these is earth and one is air as well. And then this is obviously water because it's the Ace of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
But basically you have a love offer coming in or an offer of romance. If you are not looking for romance, this is not your pile. Just gonna say that right now. If you got to this point, this is not your pile. Sorry. But basically you have the Prince of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. So this is a love offer coming in from the King of Cups, which is like the most nurturing, loving energy you can have. And I feel like this Four of Pentacles, I feel like this is more about stability than it is about anything else. Like a lot of people give the Four of Pentacles a bad rep, and I don't know why, because all of the other fours in the deck are great. So I don't know why people try to think that the Four of Pentacles is so bad when it's really not. It's just about holding on to things. And I feel like it's one of those things of staying grounded and allowing yourself to balance things out, because in the traditional tarot, well, even here you can see it's balanced. But in the traditional tarot, they've got one on their head, one in their where their throat chakra is, one like towards their belly, and one at their feet of the pentacles. And so I feel like it's more about being grounded into the earth than anything. And with that, I feel like you're holding on because you're going to be moving very quickly and having a lot of changes happen very fast. And this is something that you're owed because you've balanced out your karma, you've balanced out your life, and you're really coming into this place of knowing how to talk to yourself and how to treat yourself and how to love yourself. And that's allowing for this person to come in and give you that offer of love, of romance, of a relationship, of something that's stable and nurturing and loving. And you'll see that others are giving you the love that you're giving yourself. And that's something that's going to be happening this year, which is super soft.
Yes. I agree. It's very, 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 very soft. I mean, again, I don't think this is your pile, again, if you're really not interested in love, but just if you're still here and you feel like it is, this can again also be an emotional fulfilling offer. So this could be like, because you could be the King of Cups, right? So like you yourself could be the King of Cups, and this could be about like an offer comes in, some type of offer from spirit that, fills your cup emotionally, and like it helps you find that stability and, makes you move forward. But really I do pick up a lot of romance vibes from this. So like, that's kind of hit or miss. But I am really drawn to that Four of Pentacles, and I agree with Bekah that I think in this case, it's definitely talking more about stability, because especially like when we're talking about a relationship, to me, this is not someone who's going to let you go easily, and you're not going to let this person go easily either. Like when you guys meet, it's going to feel like, like I found like my stability, my foundation, my person. Because I think the reason the Four of Pents gets a bad rap is because usually it's a guy that's holding on to his money really tightly. Like he won't share it, like he won't do this. So people tend to say he's coming from like a lack mindset. And while I do think that sometimes that can be true with tarot, you always need to look at the surrounding cards. And so in this situation, like I said, I really, really, really do feel like it's exactly what Bekah was saying. This is definitely more about stability, and the fact that like, what is that song that something about like, it's by Wano, the song Come Over Tonight. Like, I'm gonna hold you so tight. That's what I'm hearing right now. So if you I highly recommend looking up that song. It's really soft. But that's kind of what that gives me, is like, I'm gonna hold you so tight, like I'm gonna make you feel loved and safe. Like I definitely get safety from that card. It's really standing out. And I think that's something you've been looking for. It's like you've been looking for a safe place to like lay your head, like your community, your friends, your whatever, and like your, and again, like Bekah said, your karma is balanced, so like it's going to come, which is tear.
Yes. Very soft. I mean, that really speaks for it. So you got, I can't even with these.
Yeah, that's so much like emotional fulfillment. Like and about love specifically, the Ace of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Like, holy moly.
I would say that this group more, I mean, the others would resonate with Astro too, but I mean, this group more so than the other ones, I think that Astro's music would resonate with you a lot if you're somebody that really loves love, because a lot of their music is love songs. So
yes.
Just throwing that out there. But now is my favorite part, which is all about what's in your present. So I'm going to move these up. So what are you going to get this year? I told Laina this is my favorite because it's kind of like opening presents, even if it's
it really is.
Not something for
Can you do me a favor and cut the deck in half?
Yeah. That's not right. Is it this one? Yep.
I was like, there's something that they want in there. Yeah, so wish fulfillment. Yeah, and you've definitely earned it. Like, you just yep.
You have the 8 of coins. You've worked really hard for it, and then the 2 of coins.
Because you balanced everything about it. Yeah, okay. All right, yes. That's all they wanted.
Okay, so I have no idea what's in here. Okay.
I see a yes.
Oh, wait. There's one that's stuck in there. Hold on. There it is. Okay. I say this all the time. Good times.
Yes, she does say that all the time.
Yes, you also got a yas. It's exciting energy. Okay, let me just pull all this back so that I'm not giving anything away. You have a little angel, which one of your songs talked about angels. So you're very guided and protected. You are probably pretty connected to the spiritual realm, or at least to your own spirituality in some way, shape, or form. You have so very blessed, which if you watched our pick a card for autumn when we're actually putting this out, then you would have seen this in the last one. So maybe that's a hint if you haven't watched it yet as to what your pile is. You have the pumpkin pie. So fall must be pretty important for you.
I agree. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but as soon as she picked up that sticker, all I heard was Joey from Friends, please pass the pie.
You have these 2 cuties high-fiving.
Cute. I almost feel like that's your spiritual team being like, yes, we finally got there.
Yes. Yeah, the number 4 is really important for this group. Stability, foundation. That could be April. It could be the 4th sign of the zodiac, which is Cancer. That's usually the sign that's associated with the number 4. Let's see. Maybe you have the number 4 is like your favorite number, or you're born on the 4th, or you're born in April. You have breathe, which is 4462. So again, double 4s. You have be true to you, number 327.
There could be a date, March 27th.
You have the E charm, the little diamond on it. So that could be an initial. That could be a plate. Maybe you're going to visit Egypt. Who knows? That could be.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Wouldn't that be really cool? The city. Yeah. Maybe it's your person's initial. You have a key with a little diamond in the middle. I feel like this is you unlocking your heart or unlocking doors, opening opportunities for you. This could even be this Ace of Cups coming in. Yeah, you have a pentacle.
Cute.
The money, honey.
Yep.
Oh, you have another angel, so you're super protected and guided. It says angels watching over me.
That's really soft. Isn't there a song that's like someone's watching over me? What song?
Yes, I think so. You have swans, and it looks like a mom and a baby swan. So for some of you, that could be a message that maybe if you've been trying to have a baby, you might be successful this year.
Hillary Duff song.
Wow. But otherwise, if it's not that, then this could just be about you finding your person, because you'll notice they make a little heart. Or if it's not that, then it could just be that you're connecting to your inner child in a loving and safe and caring way.
So
You have, yes, you have a bicycle, which for me is about movement and travel, movement forward and moving in the right direction. As well as, you know, maybe you will take up biking. Maybe you'll figure out that you like to do, like, you like to go out and take a bike ride, or you like to do cycling classes or something like that. Like that might come up for you. But mostly this is about like movement internally and externally in your life, which we did get the Chariot. So maybe your Chariot is a bicycle.
yes, and also Bicycle by RM. If you have not heard that song, I recommend.
You have Yay.
Yay! I think I say that all the time.
Yes. You have Sunshine and Sandals.
Ooh, that's my aesthetic.
So summer could be really important for you.
I don't like the summer, but I like sunshine and I like sandals.
Warm weather. You have Later Hater.
Later hater. I love that.
You have a tape, like a music tape. So listen to music, listen to lyrics. When songs are on the radio, they might have messages for you. Those might be messages from your angels. You have this very free-spirited girl with a sun hat.
Cute.
So enjoying life, having a grand old time. You have balloons, so celebration, parties, a lot of fun. You have karaoke.
Cute.
So that could be something that you do this year that you have fun with. Maybe you'll get brave and go out to like a karaoke bar with your friends for the first time and sing at the top of your lungs.
That sounds amazing.
Yes. Brunch. So maybe you need to eat some brunch.
Brunch sounds delicious.
Maybe that's a good self-care thing for you. And then last but not least.
Oh, it looks like they're so happy to find each other. It's so soft. Look at the
I know,
little duck.
cute little ducky. But yes, they finally found each other. She's crying because she finally found her man. Or, you know, you could take it vice versa too. He finally found her and is very happy. So there you go. I mean, really, it's very soft.
It's extremely soft. Just
Yes. Hopefully that makes you excited about your birthday, because that's pretty great. Those are some great things to happen. You're going to have a beautiful year. It's going to be very fast moving, but very, very loving and very soft and very exciting at the same time. And you're going to have a lot of fun. So hopefully you are excited. But we wanted to thank your guides and thank our guides, both Laina and I's guides and ancestors, for allowing us to read for you today and for giving us all of these great messages for your birthday. So, you know, thankful for that. But if you want to, you can leave us a like, a comment, you can hit subscribe. You can check out all of our social media pages, which are all linked below in the description box. If you want a reading, we do offer those in astrology, Reiki, tarot, past life regression. You can go check it all out on our website if you're interested. Otherwise, we are very excited for you. Happy birthday. And hopefully we see you in our next video.
yes. Yes, have a very happy birthday. Make sure you eat lots of cake and pie and some brunch. And very excited for you. Have a great year. Bye-bye, our galaxies.
Bye.